Hazy out of Visalia, dude, out of a place that has indoor soccer, man. It's, yeah, it's pretty good too. So they know what they're doing. Yeah.
Think we're good to go now.
Yeah, it's pretty good too. So they know what
What's
they're
going on,
doing.
everybody?
Yeah. I just got the chat pulled up here, so
I can hear you on my end.
uh,
What's up, Gnome? What's up, Northwest Small? What's up, LW? I'm muted again. Think we're good to go now. I think we're good to go now. I just heard myself. All right, what you drinking? I know what you're drinking, but let everyone know what you're drinking.
New Glarus spotted cow. I don't know. I've heard of them before. I've never had it. It's like a farmhouse ale. I bet Gnome's in there. Gnome's probably heard of it.
In the Wisconsinville?
No. Gnome, you heard of New Glarus?
Nope.
See what this bad boy looks like.
All right, I got the 60-minute IPA. It's good to see you guys still around because I finished that video and I wanted to track down some Deschutes because you get it out there. You get it out in California. You probably get like the black butt butte porter, and you probably get
Black Butte Porter,
the pine drops, the fresh squeeze. And I wanted to get that.
fresh squished, yeah. Fresh squeezed, fresh squished.
Yeah, and I looked it up online. I looked at their beer locator, and it was very good. Deschutes is from their website. You know, type in your address, and it's like, hey, we'll give you a 10-mile radius. And I went to the place, and they just had the Black Butte Porter. I was like, damn, this would have been cool to drink on the happy hour tonight because I put that in the video. What's up, everybody? Thanks for recently watching Brian and I's videos. He's actually brewing. I'm just ranting about dogs and kids. But this is Elementary Brewing. He's got a link in the description. If you're not subscribed to his channel, I'd appreciate it very much so. See, we got the brew show in here. See if these are working. Wow. And I'm doing a stream with Brew Show tomorrow night. He's firing it up on his end. Yeah.
Saw that. I'm excited for that. Hopefully I can click into that too, man.
Hopefully I'm not too loosey goosey tonight. You know, take it easy with 4 or 5 beers, and then I can wake up, do some editing, clean the house, and then jump on with the Brew Show.
Hair of the dog, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna.
Doesn't work. What doesn't work once you get to a certain point, I guess.
It doesn't work till you get to a certain point. I'm gonna be 40 soon, so I gotta really
I'm
like
pushing
45.
It all went downhill, and I'm pushing almost 50.
Are you?
I'm 48, so
Okay, I just turned 39 in January.
went downhill after 45, really, but
So what does that mean?
started going downhill.
Like a
I don't know,
six
just
pack
like,
will do it.
oh God, yeah, no, I'm good after like 3, dude.
You'll get a hangover if you drink 4.
It depends on the beer, I guess.
It depends on the beer for sure.
Yeah, when you're drinking 9%ers, I mean.
Oh yeah. And speaking of 9%ers, big shout out to James for coming on last week, and I think he just had 4, and he's so rad. You know, I love that James has the dream job for a lot of people to be a helicopter pilot, and he's still not only homebrewing but pushing commercial beer to his local pizza joints and Mexican food joints in his area. You know, like that's the eye on the prize. That's on the forefront.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's a passion.
That he does that. Yeah, and
That's
I
a
mean,
passion
he hasn't
project.
been posting much content, but I guarantee it's because he's just too busy with all his other stuff.
100%, and I get it. You know, especially when he's doing these trainings where he's all cooped up in, little dormitories. Yeah, he's going back in time.
That looked rough, man.
That did look rough, man. But we got some people here in the chat. What's up, Silverham and Bruin? Talked about getting him on. They've got a YouTube channel. Patrick Sandy, what's up, Braj? Kim Hill, birthday was last week, 2 weeks ago. Much appreciated, though. Definitely January baby. What's up, Warren Cox? So you boy, 56 here. A little bit older than us. A little bit older than Brian up there. But for those who don't know, this is Brian. He's out there in Visalia. He's been on a good YouTube grind. I would say that him, the Brew Show, and Steve, as far as Northwest Small Batch, yeah, And Brian, you were telling me a little bit about it, but how do you squeeze it in? You know, because I don't think a lot of people in here know that, or maybe they do know, like you're a teacher with time off or going back to school and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's not YouTube is definitely not my day job. Teacher by day, but we have 3 weeks off over Christmas break, so had a lot of time to brew some beers and get some content scheduled and out, you know, pre-done ahead of time, and
Wow.
then I just early mornings, late nights, and squeezing it in whenever I can.
What time's like the earliest and what time's the latest?
I mean, I wake up at 4 o'clock pretty regularly, and yeah, late nights for me. I usually don't pull too many late nights. I'm an early riser, which means I go to bed early.
Yeah, a lot easier to focus in the morning. Like I didn't do anything
Hmm.
yesterday. I was like, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna wake up at 6 in the morning today and just edit for 10 hours. My goal was try to go live by 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. my time.
Yeah,
I got about
yeah.
6:30, but like that's what I get for not writing or editing these last couple of days. But like I told you, the video I put up today, that was pretty much a video that I had already did, but the videos had bombed. And surprisingly, this video is like number one or two, which is crazy. It's just weird how this happens.
It's funny how it just stuff ticks off. You don't expect it to happen, and it happens, or you're like put a lot of effort into one, and that one bombs.
Yeah,
It's weird how it works.
and I think I set this video up just to kind of like get engagement in the comments. You know, it's like top 5 breweries in America. Well, that's impossible because no one's visited all the breweries. You know, I should have put like,
Yeah, everybody's got a different taste buds too. So
yeah. And, I don't really care about like the kids and the dogs. Like I kind of just do those rants like that to try to get engagement, to try to be like people like, well, it's my dog's the best dog ever. My kids are well behaved. And then you kind of get that algorithm point. But, I'm talking
yeah,
about the people that are on like the far end of it. The people that come in and just like unleash 4 dogs inside a place and then
yeah,
just like that doesn't happen that often. I've seen that, but that's who I'm talking about. I'm not
yeah,
talking about the people that are showing up with their little, Shih Tzus or their
yeah.
bulldogs and they're just
I
minding their P's
yeah,
and their
I got
Q's.
yeah, I got a dog, and I would never take him to a brewery. I mean,
Be
I know he's nuts, man. He needs to go out on walks and be a dog.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be chilling around a bunch of people and kids and all that stuff.
Yeah. And you never know because your dog could be the one that's well behaved. It could be right by you with a leash, like right underneath your feet. And then a dog without a leash can just run up to it and just
Cruises over and
start a war. Yeah.
Cujo IPA.
Cujo. Nice catch, the Brew Show. My favorite part about today's video was half of it was about dogs. Half of it was about, and I trimmed it down too. I just went on this weird rant before I got sick and I lost my voice. And I was talking about like half off night. Like if you've got to do half off night and get the college kids in there, like I'm probably not going to go to your brewery. And then we went down to a brewery in Florida, me, Gnome, and a couple guys. And it was like, they were giving us away like a free chicken sandwich or a free hamburger with every IPA. And it's like, guys, how good can your beer be if you have to give away a free sandwich? Like this just devalues this beer so bad it's out of control. And I took
Yeah.
all that out and I left the dog part in. So I apologize. I really do apologize to anybody that's got a well-behaved dog in here, like the Brew Show. But I don't know. Sometimes the rants.
The Brew Show, is that even a dog or is that like half cat? I
He's
don't
got an
know.
Ewok.
I think you
Yeah.
should just show up with 40 cats. That would be pretty cool.
That was kind of a joke too, because I have seen people come into breweries with like a parrot or like a snake
Yeah.
wrapped around them, and you're just kind of like, whoa, man. And
Whoa, what?
if you're gonna say a dog's emotional support, you can't tell me that this boa constrictor's not. So that's kind of where the thought process went to. So,
Yeah.
and I do have a buddy
Yeah.
with a 7-foot monitor lizard, and I was like, yeah, how can you? I don't know. It was in the video,
I don't know.
this and that.
Yeah.
But we got the barrages in here. We're up to almost 40 people. What's up, Chris Moreau?
Nice.
Skinny Legend Brewing. I love that. Service Lizard. That's funny as shit. Stephen Plass, what's up, Raj? Always showing love.
Wow.
Good job with Silverhammer Brewing. Check out their YouTube channel. There's definitely some new channels. We talked about this a little bit
Yeah,
before we came on,
yeah,
and they're popping up.
they are, man. There's a few that pop up, and they've got good stuff, man. It's fun to watch. We need more home brewing channels.
We need more home brewing channels, but do you have any kind of adapt or die content you're going to be working on this year, or are you going to stick with home brewing?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much all home brewing related. I mean always got ideas in the back of my head. I like I'll geek out on like the film YouTube side of it, like the cinematic things, and I love going down that rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's always based around home brewing. So
But you could also do
yeah,
like cooking with beer, beer pairings, beer and food pairings.
oh yeah,
I liked your video on like what glasses, how to come up on glasses. Maybe do like a more
yeah, some shorts on that. I've got a couple things because I love baseball and I love
Patrick
barbecue.
Sandy. Yeah,
So I think baseball and beers and barbecue and beers go together real well. And
yeah,
and I think most of the people that are drinking beers and watching homebrew probably, I don't want to stereotype too much, but they're probably folks and
sure.
baseball or at least sports, like they like sports.
We've
So
got some probably same interests, same hobbies for sure.
oh,
What up, Bomb Brew? What up, everyone? Love the video. Much love, man. I appreciate that.
Wow.
And I'm thinking about doing a video just like, not local beers, not difficult beers to get. Just like, what are my favorite beers right now? And beers that they're not, I don't know, like Bell's Two Hearted is kind of my equivalent of Deschutes Fresh Squeeze. It's got kind of that
it's a good beer.
It's a great beer. It's affordable.
Yeah.
It's, I think I've got a 4-pack of it right now, and it's 4
All right.
16s versus
I think it's
6
easy.
12s.
Easier to get over there. I've only had it when the same guy that brought me the New Glarus was over there and brought me a Bell's Two Hearted a couple months back, and yeah, that's hard to get
It's hard
over
for
here.
you to get on the West Coast. So that's my equivalent
Yeah,
over there. So I can make a video kind of talking about that. Like here's like 5 or 6 beers. Obviously, everyone knows about the Sierra Nevada, a little something hazies.
yeah.
But if you guys want to go a little bit like less universal than that, here's some other hazies, the West Coast IPAs. I don't think you're going to get Surf Wax. That's Burial's famous one, but it only is like
Oh yeah. See, that's the one you guys keep talking about that. I'd love to
Surf
go check
Wax.
that place out.
And
Yeah.
they don't even distribute that, so
Oh,
the big breweries in the South, at least in the North Carolina and Tennessee areas, High Wire, I worked there for a little bit, but they're
all right.
they're definitely geared for like the Walmart crowd, the Walmart brewery, just get the whole family in. And this is kind of why I make a lot of these videos, because I worked there for a year and it was just kindergarten cop literally the whole time. Um, but they're killing it. I mean, they've got tasting rooms. We're talking like the biggest cities in the South: Birmingham, Charlotte, Lexington, I believe. There's like 4 in North Carolina. They're huge. And their whole model is just kind of different, half off
Yeah.
nights, college nights, half off Tuesdays and Thursdays, core beer nights. And then Burial in Zool. Burial's way bigger than Zool.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
they've got 4 tasting rooms, 2 in Asheville, 1 in Raleigh, and 1 in Charlotte. And that's a huge move. Charlotte's a huge city. If you can have a cool, Burials, it's got like diehard customers. I call them burial heads. And if you can get that in a big city like Charlotte, and it's still got that credibility like Sierra Nevada or something that's never sold out, like, whoa, we have this now. They're printing money. They're going to make a ton of money. And then, yeehaw. What's up?
You can't get Deschutes over there though, right?
Can't get Deschutes, but I can get Bell's. I can get, or what is it called? Bell's Hearted.
Yeah, Bell's Two Hearted. Yeah.
Bell's Two Hearted. Yeah, I'm actually going to crack one here in a second, and it's pretty similar. Like if you did a side by side comparison, I don't think I wouldn't bet on it. I'd probably blow it. We got party time in here. Hobson Gnarly. Speaking of brew tubers, man, he's got some content out. Good luck with your
Yeah, I'm
move,
excited.
Brush.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
excited for his new series, man.
this is
That brew shed.
yeah, kind of bittersweet. Obviously, building a brew house and having to take it down. I've been there twice,
Oh, yeah.
but it's always cool moving into someplace new. It always is. moving into some place that's clean. You can start from scratch, set this up here. There's, you know,
And each time you probably learn a little bit about where you want to put stuff and everything like that.
how to conserve space, how to utilize all this space, where not to put something, you know, not to put this thing that gets all dusty next to the door of the front house, maybe put it by the garage door or whatnot. And he talked about that a little bit in his video.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hop, stoked for you, bro. We got potty time in here. What's up, Raj? Zach Pearson, 8-man. Bells is out of Michigan. Bells is out of the Midwest. Easier to get stuff in the South from the Midwest than it is to get stuff from the Midwest from the probably West Coast and Pacific Northwest.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it was cool. You know, I like when breweries do that, when they have a website and you could type in their beer and it can show you where it's available. I just want to know like what styles that they have, because, you know, there's some, I don't care about the porters or the Belgians or maybe even like the Pilsners or something. I just kind of want the West Coast IPAs or the nostalgic stuff.
Sure.
But it's tough. You know, it's tough. You know, when Adam makes beer, when he comes on, you know, he breaks it down, you know, going from local to regional to like, or what is it? Local to regional to like coastal to like coast to coast to international. Yeah, like each one of those stages is just a whole other thing. It's just
There's
whole
probably
other...
so many regulations and everything in that.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of guys sell out at that point too, because Budweiser wants to buy you when you're up and coming and you're kind of cheap. You know, you're a lot cheaper than if you were to grow organically for a decade and then, you know, we got to buy these guys. But a lot of times it's like, yeah, Budweiser can get our, you know, whatever, our Golden Coast or Goose Island into 50 different states like that. They want to give us $10 million. Like,
it's a business at that point, you know. You're like, when somebody starts flashing that sort of money around.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to make fun of you or call you out, it's like, joke's on you, man. I'm gonna go play golf while you go to work. You know, like I just retired, so sometimes selling out could probably feel pretty good when it's a Monday and you're barbecuing and drinking Modelo's on your driveway. You know?
Yeah.
Everyone else is stuck in traffic. What up, Cityscape?
Yeah, Cityscape, and he says Bell's has the recipes on their website, so that just sounds like I just need to maybe brew one myself, you know.
Same with Deschutes. You know, they're a lot more similar than we think, you know, because that's how we got a lot of our recipes. Was they would have the grain bill and the hot bill,
right?
Just kind of go off that. Yeah, and then we would we'd have a buddy, like every time he got fired from Stone, he'd give us all the recipes. And we thought it was like such a big deal at the time. We're like, dude, we have the recipe for Sculpin, or what was the Grunion? What was the blue one? Before they had to, we had a couple of them. There was a Grunion, but then we figured out like Sculpin was rotating hops, and they change up the hops every year, and it's just kind of more of a branding thing than it is actually having the exact hop quantity of that, percentage of that for every single batch. So yeah, that was the good old days. And I don't know, do you guys even see Sculpin even around? Is there any Ballast Point left in?
I mean, I don't necessarily go out and look for that, but I can't recall seeing that anywhere.
Yeah,
I do have a couple buddies that are like, oh, I love that beer, and they'll drink it. So I've seen it around, but I don't really go looking for it. So
yeah, and I think that they do have some tasting rooms, I think, still in Point Loma and Little Italy. But other than that, I mean, they've just been there for so long. It's just a localized, super cool, you know, walkable local brewery. And Point Loma and Little Italy are like pretty gorgeous parts of San Diego.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get a Bell's. B, can you hold it down?
Yep, I got it.
I'll be back.
I'm going to be next. Need to go grab another one. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Yeah, Hops and Gnarly, 3 Floyds. That was another one. So my buddy brought me the new Glarus Spotted Cow. But 3 Floyds is another one. He's always posting pictures. He travels a lot for work, and he's going to all these cool breweries, and I'm totally jealous because He goes to a lot of good ones. So Blackwood Brews drinking the New Glarus Spotted Cow out of Wisconsin. And it is a farmhouse ale. Really all they say, farmhouse. It's not like a saison, I don't think. Although farmhouse ale and saison might be similar. It was really good. A little cloudy, just nice flavors. Not anything too harsh or anything like that. Yeah, they follow the spotted cow adheres to the Reinheitsgebot, so only uses yeast, water, hops, and malted barley. Yeah, Brusho. Yeah, it's good. This is the first time I've ever had it. I'm glad he brought me one. I wish
Cheers,
he brought me
everybody.
more.
Let's go.
There's the Two Hearted.
There's the Two Hearted right here. I think I got it a 4-pack, 16 ounces for $9.99. I think that's as good as beer is going to get in this whole
That is. Ah,
inflation world. This is not a bad price.
no, that's not a bad price at all, man.
No. Best bang for your buck. And you're saying this is tough to get out there in California? You don't see it that often?
I've never seen it out here. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've only had it because the guy that he travels a lot for work, and
It's good,
he brought me a couple. Yeah, it's good.
It's a good friend.
Chicken Head IPA. Yeah, he's a good buddy. He's always posting I was just telling these guys, he's always posting pictures of like he's been to Three Floyds and he's been everywhere.
Three Floyds has got a lot of credibility out here. You see someone what's up?
Yeah. Oh, I said I think he goes out to the Midwest a lot, so I don't know exactly where all these places are, but
yeah, it's a good question. I should know where Three Floyds is because a lot of people in Tennessee rock.
Somebody say Michigan, or that was?
It's a good question. Jamie, pull that up.
Look up. I'm going to look up here.
So what do you got going on for the rest of the week? Are you going to be brewing or working on editing or both? Or are you going to chill out?
Right. I think I'm going to brew on the weekend. I've got. I want to do a brew a POV brew day.
A POV brew day? What is that? Like a live stream?
Yeah, point of view, just like your POV. So just like I don't know. You see those videos? They're like, oh, this is my. I don't know. So it's like you get one of those little hero cams and kind of experiment a little bit with that stuff. So
are you gonna go full on Pokemon Go and have the GoPro strapped to your forehead?
I might do
Let's
that.
Do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
I think I might do that.
And we're gonna do it live.
Mix it up a little bit. No, I won't. No, not live. I don't know. My wife thinks I should do some sort of lives here somewhere, but I don't know. I'm kind of afraid, actually.
Join the club. Have you done a live yet?
I have not done a live. Okay. I was kind of thinking like maybe if I hit a certain subscriber milestone, maybe I'll pop a live on there. But
I think you got to have a couple people. Like Brian short-circuited, had his wife. Larry had a whole group of guys, but then it becomes a problem because everyone's smoking cigars and getting way too loosey goosey. But
if you, I don't know, it just if I could, I don't think I could pull it off by myself, and that's kind of like how I brew is by myself. So
I think it would kind of have to start with streaming, and setting up different cameras here, and then connecting all your cameras to your stream deck, because that's kind of the name of the game. You need multiple cameras, and you need to switch from these cameras, whatever your B-roll is or whatever you're talking about. And then, kind of what we talked about earlier. It's like when the camera's just on someone's face and they're just kind of ranting, you get a shitty homebrew for life video, like my last one talking about dogs. You want to have that B-roll to go over it. Like if you're doing something with your hands, just go to that. If you're talking about hops, just click on the bag, even though you're not, and then play around with the bag or weigh it out, but like, it's a lot. And shout out to Brian for doing that. And
his were always they were well planned out and everything.
Dude, it was like 5 hours long, man. I would come back to it and just be like, no way, I mean, there's so much.
Yeah. My kids would be interrupting every 30 seconds. I'd
Yeah,
probably just get frustrated and be like, all right, I'm
that's it.
out.
That's it. And if
That's it.
something, some little thing goes wrong, you got to have a backup, you know, like I know
Yeah.
Brian's got a bunch of systems, but what if your machine just craps out or you blow a fuse or something? It's like, what do we do now? Just get the
Yeah.
propane tank. That's what you did in your last video. I mean,
I did, man.
you've got a
And that
few
was, yeah,
systems
that was,
now.
yeah, that was fun, man. The cleanup on the brew in the bag is so easy. I mean, just propane, a kettle, a
Yeah.
bag, you just clean it. It's like it's the easiest thing ever. And I have the anvil. That thing is easy to clean too.
The three
Not that the
gallon or the
claw
two and a half
hammers
gallon.
are, yeah, that it's like a 6.5 gallon, but it makes,
Right.
you can make a full 5 gallon batch on it. You just have to top up with water.
Right.
But it's meant more for like the 2.5, 3 gallon batches.
What do you like brewing
Or
on the
like
most?
the claw hammer is really nice. Electric is really cool. I do like the claw hammer.
Going to be the
My
most
only gripe
expensive.
is I've got the 20 gallon. And so if I want to do a smaller batch, like I want to do a 2.5 gallon, I can't use it.
Right.
It's too big.
Right.
Right. So that's why I went with the anvil for the smaller one, because I think, when you're brewing as much as, I mean, I've been brewing a lot, and I honestly don't drink a ton anymore. I try to get rid of and give away as much as I can.
The neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean,
The
I'm just
burbs.
feeding everybody else's. Yeah. But it's nice to break down and do like a smaller batch. Like that French toast IPA,
That was
that I
awesome.
tried to pull off. Yeah, I
Someone's
still
going to
think I
do it.
could
You're going to see
I
the
still think I could
circulation.
nail that recipe, but I was glad that I didn't do a 5 gallon batch.
No, and sometimes when you get stuck with a batch like that, it can burn you out from brewing because you're just sitting on it. And like me, I don't
Yeah.
really brew if I'm sitting on beers and I got, nowhere really to put it, because I always use my chiller or my kegerator for either temperature control or to store beer. And I've just got the smallest one. I mean, it doesn't carry any more than 2 cornies on it. So I've really got to
Oh yeah.
pick and choose my battles. But
It,
Hobson Gnarly,
it's
rest
like,
in peace, short circuited. Somebody said that he quit drinking. I think that's what Kyle from Kleinhammer said, but I thought he had like a surgery or maybe both. But
he had shoulder surgery or something like that. He
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 had the
was always
labrum,
kind of,
the torn labrum.
yeah,
Yeah, and I've been there
yeah.
twice. So maybe he'll come
Um,
back. I don't know. Have you seen a video from Larry in a while? Barbecue Larry?
no, no. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a few months. He was a little bit more active recently, but I haven't seen anything, yeah, popping up.
Yeah. I mean, how's your YouTube morale right now? I mean, are you kind of getting burned out? When you get a video that's
Yeah.
got it 7, 8, 9, or 10, does that kind of bum you out?
I mean, obviously, I think there's a little bit of you see it and you're like, oh man,
Some blues.
that one,
Yeah.
but I'm not. I like the creative outlet. I almost think I need the creative outlet to
Same with
do
me.
it.
Yeah.
So, and it's almost for me like a 50-50 split. I love beer and I love brewing, but it's really the video part of it and the editing. I really like that too.
Hmm.
Um, and so just trying to come up with creative ways. I mean, I know we've all seen it. Like, oh man, how many different ways can I get grain going into a bucket? And sometimes you're like, oh gosh, dude, what am I doing? But
Got this shot a
um,
hundred times.
yeah, I'm just trying to come up with new and interesting ways and like trying to weave a story into it more.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, yeah. I mean, just because to me, making beer is it's a lot of fun. It's
It's a lot
almost
of
like an art
work.
form. A lot of science, a lot of art, a lot of work.
Yeah.
But the editing and the videography is really cool too, and that's kind of what keeps me going. So I've got lots of I don't have no plans of slowing down. I've got more
Good.
plans of just trying to speed up actually. And continue to make good beer. That's one of the goals that I have for myself this year that's not even YouTube or anything related, is just I'm gonna start sending my beers in for competition.
Good
So
for you. I don't
see
do
what
it.
other people say.
Yeah. Good for you. And I think that's a good way. I mean, it's not going to hurt your beer, right? It's going to make you be
No.
more stringent. It's going to, you're never going to cut
Yeah.
corners if you're turning a beer in. And I just, to me, it was kind of something like I shouldn't do it unless I was going to open up a brewery. And I think when I got into home brewing, I think the idea in the back of my mind was to always like own a brewery one day. Like 10 years ago, that was the coolest thing of all
Yeah.
time. And now, and I do believe in this, and I've said this in a couple of videos, where I think craft beer is just in a different gear from city to city, from place to place. And
Yeah.
it's not in a good spot in San Diego. 10 years ago, when everybody was like, this is the craft beer capital of the world, there's so many breweries. It's like, there's going to be a hindsight to this, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
can't just keep growing with breweries, and you can't just keep having a pub or a satellite tasting room in every city on every corner. I mean, like, it's cool for the consumer, but for the business owner, it's like, God, stop saying that. The craft beer capital of that means there's a billion breweries in this town.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's only so much. There's only so much. I think that certain places can handle. San Diego is a huge, like you said in your video, what, 6 billion people?
It's San Diego.
It's so
God,
big.
it's too big.
It's so big.
It's too
Yeah, and
big.
it's almost too big. And when you get oversaturated like that, there's only so many. I think like the craft beer industry is kind of fickle too. Like, I mean, look at January, just everybody with these New Year's resolutions and like, oh, I'm going to be big on fitness.
Yeah.
That's got to kill certain breweries.
It's got to
I
kill
feel bad.
breweries. The younger
Yeah, it's gonna
generation now, I think a lot of them don't drink like we do. A lot of them are into
no, and
the
that's
vape thing, the smoking weed thing, or just getting sober. I don't know. You hear the term now like California sober. People aren't drinking,
yeah,
but they're doing their own thing, and I
yeah,
never put my money on this vape thing. I kind of understand the marijuana thing, but every city I go to, whether it's Beverly Hills or like some ghetto or something, you just see all these vape places and the CBD places, and someone's making money. And sure, this is something that'll probably get saturated in 10 years too, but I think that right now it's just kind of the wild, wild west. And I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe we're too old for it. Like the vape life. Whatever happened to just like smoking weed? If you wanted to smoke weed, why do you need like so many different little gummies or pills or half and half or THC or Delta 9? And it's just like they're making money,
yeah,
and they're making money in Tennessee, which is wild because when I was in
yeah,
California, I thought that like if you got caught smoking weed in Tennessee, it was like 25 to life, off their head. So if it's cool here, it's got to be cool damn near everywhere.
yeah,
And a lot of guys go on Joe Rogan or this guy's podcast, and they're like, dude, I was a pro wrestler, I was the baseball player, like I'm making way more money with the whole cannabis thing now. And it's just like, damn, man. And some guys still
yeah.
own breweries and celebrity wineries and vodkas, and I think Jay Cutler has a brewery now. I think I read that the old quarterback for the Bears has a
All right.
brewery, I think in Nashville. I think that's right.
Yeah, I think if you're located in the right place,
I agree.
you're gonna be just fine. And
Right.
San Diego's like not the right place, but there's breweries here in Visalia, it's a small town, and they're killing it. They're crushing it because just the market is not as saturated. And I guarantee there's got to still be places that are like that.
Oh, for
And
sure. Yeah. Because
you just got to find the right place.
I agree with that. And people say that timing is the number one thing, like the number one factor for
Yep.
everything. It's like, but I would also say that where you are is just as important, like
Yeah.
and I've always said this, if you're halfway killing it in San Diego, like if you're barely staying alive, if you're doing good and good enough and you're not really growing or expanding, but you're there and you've been around, if you move out of San Diego, you will kill it anywhere else.
Yeah.
The old saying, like if you could make it in New York, you can make it anywhere as far as like an entrepreneurship goes. Same goes for San Diego and craft beer. If you had the product and you moved it to Knoxville or you moved it to Chattanooga, you would be cooking with grease. So location's huge. Location's a big one, man. We've got 65 people in here. Does it feel like we've been here for almost 40 minutes?
There we go. No, not at all.
What's up?
I'm
That's my
almost. I'm
Johnson.
due
That
for another beer though.
was that number 1 or number 2?
That was number one.
That was number 1. Okay, I'm on number 2. I'm still doing my two-hearted. You want to go get a beer?
All
I
right, I'm
can
gonna go get another one.
get one of those Berliner Weisses. You have one of those?
I will.
You got one of those? I mean, get what you want.
Yeah,
Live your life.
yeah, I do. No, I was gonna go grab that because that's only 2.9%.
We'll
So
talk about that in the video.
yeah.
Northwest Small Batch. What's up, Barrage? Goose Frabout in Texas. Cheers, y'all. Happy Wednesdays. Dr. Toboggan. It was one of the only hazies. Hey, what's up? There he is, Ron Barnes. How are you guys? How are you, man? I love all this green in here. Coco Dino Bites. It's a great name. What's up to you, man? From the top. Brian, your thumbnails have been fire recently. I agree. Hops and Gnarly, your pizza port shirt was fire. I know that was old B-roll, but that was an awesome shirt. Go from the top. Christopher Moreau, you're my favorite poser, CH. Much love, man. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Larry quit. This is from Party Time Brewing. Larry actually quit for his health. Maybe no barbecue, maybe no beer. I wish him well. I hope that's not the case, but yeah, getting older, beer, barbecue. I think Larry's probably 10, 15 years older than me. Got to balance it out. Everything in moderation. But I wish him the best. I wish him well. I'll shoot him a text. I've got his phone number. I can talk to him. Really quick, Juvenal Hernandez, super chatter from last week. Cheers for Wednesdays and abstaining dry Jan. Shout out to anybody who's doing dry Jan, and shout out to anybody who's not doing dry Jan and keeping the fight alive, because there's a lot of breweries that are hurting. There's a lot of dive bars that are hurting. There's a lot of everything. There's a lot of local cider houses, a lot of local everything. Breakfast joints with liquor licenses that are hurting. There we go. Larry's in his 50s, yeah. To separate the men, we need prohibition again. Only the strong will stand. I don't think you can go back. Once you make something legal, you can't go back. They're talking about getting rid of some stuff in Tennessee, but I'm not buying it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. You open the door just to have a new politician come in and close it. Blackwood Brews. I balance it out by carrying one beer in each hand. Hey, come on down. Zach Pearson. If you buy a mix pack, would you rather want 3 varieties, 4 each of 4 varieties, or 3 of each? I have no idea what that means. I need a translator.
Cityscape's doing wet January, sick in December, so making up for it. Yeah,
there you go. Playing some catch up, man.
Yeah, play catch up for sure.
And I appreciate you, Brian, for taking off dry Jan, drinking some beers with me tonight. Much love.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not really doing a hardcore dry January. I just needed to cut back a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about that 2.9% beer.
Dude, so I don't know, that PB&J sour beer. So sour beers were something that I stayed away from. And over the last year or two, I'm like, I can't get enough sour beer, man. I don't know what it is. My taste buds have changed.
Getting acclimated to the 7-Eleven, the little kid fruit tarts and stuff. I still eat that stuff. I'm still addicted to sweets. Not chocolates, sour stuff.
Sour candies.
Sour Patch Kids.
I like sour candies. That one Trent made, he was like, oh man, it's so sour. It was the lingonberry Swedish fish one. I thought it was so good.
Was that the collab you guys did?
Yeah, that was the collab. Yeah,
that was
really
too
good.
sour.
So, he said it was too sour. I didn't think it was too sour at all. I love that thing.
Yeah, I've got a pretty high threshold.
It's almost not sour enough. I think, what did I bring it down to? 3.4, which is kind of mellow in the sour range, but I think you can go 3.2 is definitely way more sour.
Have you ever added white vinegar to a beer if it wasn't sour enough?
No.
I did that once. And it's
really?
a weird, yeah, it's a weird,
you could do that.
You can do that. Well, here's a weird thing.
Yeah.
If you look at white vinegar, it says it's only 5% on it. People think that in their mind, they think that's pH. It's not. It's just 5% vinegar. The pH
What is
on
the
that,
pH?
like 2.4.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're talking.
And if you're going for the sour, it's
But
got
you've
kind of
done
the
those
vinegar.
pickle sours before too. I've had one of those, and that was a little bit out of my comfort zone just because of the pickle flavor, though, I think, not the sourness.
Yeah, it's one of those things you kind of, trial by error, it's like it got too fruity, it wasn't sour enough, or it was too sour. Now we got to add fruit back to it, and I've got my peanut butter. I don't think I'm brewing tomorrow. This whole month's been weird because everyone's had the flu. And then once
Yeah.
the flu was over, we had the worst weather ever. Like you couldn't drive on the roads for a week. So I'm talking to the brew show and he's like, yeah, I brewed and we're doing this collab. And I'm like, dude, I can't even get to my homebrew store. But I wanted to brew tomorrow, but I've got my peanut butter. I still don't know what I'm doing for my grape, how I'm going to do that. But like I've looked online and everyone does everything from actual jelly, grape Concord jelly to black currants using strawberries.
And this is trying to like recreate that PB&J beer.
Trying to create the PB&J beer, and I think I've got a good handle on it. I think it's going to be a lot tougher if you try to make it with a grain base as opposed to a hard seltzer base, and the brew show's going that route. But we'll see. We're going to mail them to each other and come on the stream and compare and contrast. But I think I've got it. But he's had the Zool one, the one that people wait in an hour and a half line for. So, and as far as that goes, I think I'm going to get closer to that taste. He can come up with a whole other PB&J beer that's gummier or more this or more that or, more watered down. But I think mine's going to taste closer to the ones I actually sent to him.
Yeah.
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 We did get the ice storm. Yeah. It was wild. Jorge Castro, what's up, brother? Hope everyone's all well. The weather was weird out here. We got like 10 inches of snow. They said it wasn't that bad in Knoxville for like 25 years. That was a lot of snow for us.
Yeah.
And we're not.
You're coming from you're coming from San Diego. I mean, I'm in California, so I can't even talk about bad weather. I don't even know what it looks like.
I've been here for 2 years. We got a little bit of snow when I first got here, but that was snow. So Knoxville is not used to it. So we don't know how to prepare for like the winter shenanigans, So no one's got chains. I don't know where they'll plow the main road, but most people, it means nothing because they can't get out of their driveway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they cancel school when it snows out there.
They canceled snow for They canceled snow. They canceled school for 2 weeks. San Diego's got weird floods going on. Are you watching the news down there?
Oh, I have not, but somebody was telling me there's some flooding going on.
Never saw that. Straight up like a mild, not like a Hurricane Katrina, but like coming up to people's houses.
Really?
Yeah.
That's no good.
Point Loma, Pacific Beach. Yeah. Never saw that in San Diego. Not even close.
Yeah, no.
So hope everyone's doing good, man. The weather's weird. That was my joke. Everyone's like global warming. I was like, dude, what about global freezing, man? Like I couldn't leave my house for a week. It was horrible. And it's cool for like a day or two.
Yeah.
But after that, you're like, dude, it's screwing up commerce. People can't go to work. Yeah. People can't drive. People are fighting over shifts now. It's if you're in the industry, it becomes
very backed up. Yeah.
It becomes very cutthroat. Yeah, and I'm, if you're new on the totem pole, like you're just not getting work that week, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, Jorge Castro is good down there. He's got 85 degrees. Come on down.
There we go.
Well, someone's got good weather. Californians and the Caribbeans.
Wow. It's raining here, but I'm not going to complain about that. So
it's raining here too, but everyone can deal with the rain. I mean, you can still drive in the rain. It's when you can't drive, people complain about the humidity and all that stuff. It's like, you can always drive,
Well, and then trapped in your house, and then the kids' school's canceled. So
it's like we're back to COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh no, I don't want to be trapped inside again.
Back to COVID times. Yeah. Wild.
Let me out.
Wild.
Trying to throw kids on Zoom. It's like, come on, dude. That's
You're trying to brew in the garage. This is not
yeah,
happening. Everyone's running
yeah,
around
yeah,
being
yeah.
loud. Quiet on set. Quiet on set.
Uh,
Do your kids get into it? Into
you
the
know,
production? Do they want to help out
it,
with the cameras and are they interested
I'll
in
yeah,
editing?
when I ask them to, they're usually pretty stoked. Sometimes they make a few cameos in the videos and they get excited, you know.
Do they have any
They
interest in
like it.
actually editing though? Because that's a pretty badass skill for a young kid.
You know, not yet.
It's too
Although
much.
my youngest, he would probably want to do like a gaming channel,
Okay.
and I think he's interested in it. And I'm like, all right, you know, I mean, we can. That's a different ball game though
That's
from what I do.
streaming.
But
Yeah.
streaming and then like editing that, I mean, you gotta, yeah, it's
It's a
different,
full
but
time
I'm
thing.
sure
Yeah.
we could figure it out, you know. But he's like, yeah, I think I want to do that, and all right, you know, that works.
A little bit
Whatever's
different.
clever, you know.
Whatever's clever. I used to chop some of these up. I haven't done it in a while though. But these are a million times easier to chop up a stream than to put together, Home Brief Life
Yeah.
video or elementary. Because you have to find when did that go on too long? Or like, is that B-roll shot? Is that 2 seconds, 3 seconds? Or, because if I get into a video and I want to do like, today let's get in the first 30 seconds and I'll do like 1 second B-roll clips. And then I kind of feel like maybe people got stuck and they're going to stick around. You can kind of slow the B-roll down and do longer clips, So there's a little less
Yeah.
work, but you got to find your flow. You got to know, like, when I first started making videos, we'd grab hops and then like, here, we're going to unscrew it and then grab it and then dump it in or something. It's like, you just throw in the last, dump it in the boil. Like the last, just, you don't have to
Yeah.
undo this thing or grab it with your teeth or find the scissors. Like here it is, guys. Let's just have a
Yeah.
quick little smooth little some B-roll that shows what we're talking about. Blackwood
Australia,
Brews.
Warren Cox is in Australia. It's 95.
Somebody was talking
Under.
about, I got a comment from somebody in Australia today and they said that there's no breweries or there's not a lot of breweries. Have you heard about that? Like we have local breweries.
In Australia?
Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah.
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 It's on the comment in one of my last videos, but
Yeah.
I don't know. He was saying there's not a lot of local breweries like how there is everywhere in the States.
What was that brewery you went to that had the horizontal? Those are lagering tanks.
Yeah, they do small batch lagering, and I should have talked about that.
That was the dark lager one that you like,
Awesome
right?
place. Awesome
Yeah,
place.
that looks cool, dude. And that's what I think. If craft breweries are going to start going down down a route, I think there's a lot of breweries that do the IPA thing, but there's not a lot of breweries that do the lager thing. If you want to set yourself apart, I think that. I mean, I don't know.
No, I agree with that. And you can drink more of them. You can charge pretty much the same price.
Mm-hmm. Lagers.
That place was very cool as far as, you know what's funny about that place? They had a dog park across the street, so people that had dogs, they could and it was so weird because, you're looking at a place that's got a million little kiddie pools with dogs running around and flapping around. And I was like, you have to sign a waiver coming in here. This is wild, but if you come to this place, it was cool. There was good looking girls there, and I think that's kind of the thing. If you can have a place that can get good looking girls, like the guys will always come after that. Right.
Yeah.
So Grand Central Station, Patrick Sandy, we were there, we were hanging out, Gnome, Nick, Chris Radiation. It's been a minute. I got to send him a text. Hope he's doing well. Nick Smith, maybe you can keep us posted on Chris Radiation, man. It's been a little minute. Hope you're well, my dude. Hops and Gnarly, I don't know if you can outlogger macro, but lots of breweries in Colorado are trying their best. LOL. Yeah, that's kind of the same weird thing too. It's like
everybody still wants their IPAs though,
Yeah, and if the name of the game is just to mimic Negro Modelo or Modelo, but you're gonna buy this $7 pint. It's like, why wouldn't you just buy Negro Modelo? It's like, well, you have to go there. They have to have a great ambiance. They have to have a great brewery. They have to have
For sure.
a rooftop thing, or
Yeah.
close to the beach, or for whatever reason,
Food.
close to something cool. Because it's like at the end of the day, it's like, why don't we just drink Negro Modelo and just go to a dive bar for the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for sure. I think we all had dark lagers there. I remember they had about 3 or 4.
I love dark lagers, man.
Oh, for sure. Chris is doing well, just busy with his wife and kids. Good to know. Good to know. Australia was slower than New Zealand to jump on the craft beer bandwagon. Really? You think it'd be the other way around? But there are literally hundreds of craft breweries here, plus the big commercial boys. Ah, never mind. Maybe this guy's just in a super rural part or something. Hops and gnarly, that's it. The largest crowd goes to craft spots or IPA stout. Goose Fraba out in Texas. Does anyone know how different a macro lager tastes at the brewery compared to distributed? I've never been to a macro brewery, unless you want to count Sierra Nevada, but they don't do lagers. Not when I was there. I wasn't even drinking when I was there.
I think they do have a few lagers, but
I'm sure at some
that's a good
point.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going
Yeah,
in for
that was, yeah,
I'm going in for
the
round
Baltic
3.
Porter.
Hold it down.
All right. All right.
I'll be back.
Cold IPAs only. Yeah. I made a cold IPA. I just brewed the kit from More Beer. I used that White Labs yeast, and that was really freaking good. That was one of the best IPAs I think I've ever made, and maybe even one of the better IPAs I've ever had. Couldn't tell it was a lager. That was that new Mythical Hammer yeast from White Labs, the one that Clawhammer helped develop. I like that. I like the way that one came out. I'm gonna have to brew that one again. All right, what's everyone drinking out there? I'm already down to my last little bit on the Berliner Weiss. I need to go refill that up again, but 2.9%, that's like drinking Coors Light. I think there's enough, I don't know, I think there's enough variation in lagers that you can get, you can do the IPA like lagers. Yeah, but even if you do a lager, even if you have a lager brewery, you don't have to just stick to just lagers. The dip hop method.
What's the new
Yeah,
trend?
the dip hop method. I'm going to revisit that, Zach Pearson. I am going to revisit the dip hop again because
Oh,
I really feel like it is a super easy way to dry hop, but you get some kind of cool flavors out of it. So I was going to do a split batch experiment. I've got that on the agenda to do a split batch, one dip hop, one not a dip hop. I think I was going to brew the treehouse.
the Julius?
Do the treehouse. He popped on and did the video, and like Steve's got the treehouse IPA. So I was going to do a treehouse IPA, but I was going to make 2.
That dude's
I was going to dip
cranking.
hop one of them
I like it.
and see how they turn out. You know, you
What-
saw that video where he said to send him his beer. You send him your homebrew, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. I'm not going to do it.
No, I'm not either. But I am going to brew Steve's Treehouse IPA, and I'm going to dip hop one of them, and I'm not going to dip hop the other one.
That guy's killing it, man. Treehouse is in a whole different world of beer right now. They're on a whole different planet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, we're going brown ale from Chattanooga. We're going to mix it up.
Brown ale.
Well, I figure it's January. It's cold outside, right? Get the malty
Yeah,
stuff
that
going.
is, dude. That's brown ales are way underrated.
Thing of the past, yeah?
Chattanooga Brewery.
Chattanooga Brewery, Chestnut Street Brown Ale, trademark 1890. There's no way.
I made that an English brown, and that was like one of the better beers I think I've ever had.
Here we go,
They're
round
good.
3. Cheers, everybody. What's up, Todd
Round
Porter?
3.
Somebody commented on the video. They said, if I make it up to Treehouse, I got to check out Trogs. Have you ever heard of them?
Heard of Trogs, yeah.
Trog, Troeg,
TRO,
maybe?
something like that, or is there two G's? Or I don't know. Trogs. I've heard of it though, yeah.
Can anybody in the comment section confirm or deny the pronunciation? Yeah, brown ales for life, dude. This thing is hitting right now.
Yeah, and Zach Pearson said he made that Treehouse IPA and it was awesome as well. So I'm gonna use that recipe, I think, and then do the dip hop.
I like it. I like it a lot. Do you ever think about buying a barrel, kind of doing what Gnome did? To barrel age some
Like
stuff?
to barrel age?
Yeah, to spend a couple $100
Yeah.
on the barrel, like the smaller ones.
Yeah, that would be cool. There's actually a couple guys at Homebrew, and we were thinking like that would be kind of cool to just get together, brew like we each brew a 5 gallon batch of like sort of the same thing, and then just throw it all in a barrel.
I like
age it.
that.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that Baltic Porter, and I did the wood cubes. That was like the first time I had ever used those. You kind of get a little bit of that barrel age character, but I think it'd be really cool just to throw it all in a barrel.
For sure. Just put it there for a year, put it there for 2 years, see what happens. Nick Smith, Trogs and PA. Patrick Sandy, Trogs is awesome. Yeah, Jorge Castro. Jorge Castro knows a lot about what's going on up here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I got to get Jorge on soon too. I want to get Silverhammer.
Yeah.
I want to get Hops on here. Maybe we'll get some more. Maybe we'll get a little bit more now. Maybe the Brew Show will do this thing a little bit more consistently, and maybe turn it into like a Thursday night thing too. Because I just do it one day a week, and
Yeah, his live that you guys are doing. Yeah.
Doing a live tomorrow, so I'm gonna take it easy tonight. Yeah. But I know that the video I put out today was just a video that I already did that bombed. It was just kind of a silly little thing just to kind of get my foot back in the algorithm. But it still feels good to get some content out, even though it was just all recycled B-roll. But the PB&J mixtape, I think if I grind harder than I've ever grinded, we can get that video out on Wednesday. But preferably I'll do the weekend after that, and I could take like we're supposed to do dry February, but it's like, dude, just give me a few days. I'll do the last 5 days sober of January just to give me like 1 day of February, because I want to drink with the Brew Show on that. And
you can always just take that 1 day in February and just move it over to March.
Just move it over, yeah. Hey, much love, Northwest Small Batch Brewing, man. Gifted 5 memberships, but much love. We got some snipers in the tower. Wow. Yeah, Silverhammer. We'll talk on Instagram a little bit. I want to put down all of February and March so I know what's going on. And I want to watch the Brew shows. I want to see what's going on with him, so I don't want to be, covering shifts. I mean, if I've got to cover a shift or pick up a shift, I'll miss it. I'll miss the Brew Show stream, but I would like to support it, throw some money at it, maybe get like some Brew Show, some donation money. I know it's the ad revenue, the affiliate marketing, the merch store stuff is tough in our world,
Yeah.
But it was good. There was always October. Let's just put it off for a whole other year. But you had that good collab. You had the good collab with that PH company. I talked to them a little bit. We went back and forth, and that was cool that you did that.
Yeah.
Are you kind of aggressive when people come to you? Do you say, hey, $1,000 or no deal? Or are you kind of like, hey, just send it out here? And
yeah, it depends. If it's something like with that, I was like, yeah, I need a new pH meter. So send me the pH meter.
Me too.
In a video.
I did kind of blow that. I do need a new pH meter. And I was too aggressive with them.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, oh yeah. The last person to offer money was the Inkbird, and I was like, I don't want to make a 8-minute video on Inkbird.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did.
I know.
And then and thank you for not doing that, because nobody felt dumber when I did the God, what was it? Olive Nation. Were you in on that? We all started putting out
No,
Olive Nation
no, I
videos
don't
like
think I
this
was.
is this
Yeah.
looks so phony and forced, and this is the exact
It's funny when
opposite
they
of what.
all come out, and I'm like,
Bro,
oh
it
yeah, okay.
was
Hey, they
me.
got the email. Yeah.
I think Sarah Flora put it out like an hour before me, and
Okay.
I was like, dude, no. And it's all the same audience, so it's like, whose link are you going to click on? You know, this is just silly.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Martin, who is still doing a little bit of damn, dude. Just got a super chat from Zach 8 man. $50. Welcome back for 3 weeks in a row, man. Much love, Zach. I appreciate that. God damn,
Dang.
dude. I need it. Well, here's the thing, Brian. You need to be doing this
I
this
know.
live stream stuff, brother. Zach, you
Oh
are the
yeah.
man, dude. You just made
Yeah.
my birthday month, and you're always showing support. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, 8 man. I want to look forward to your content. You were ripping there for a little bit, but then he became a father, and I understand that.
Yeah, it's hard. That's Steve. That's apartment Steve. Doing a
Still
brew day,
grinding. He's still
yeah, he's
grinding.
still
He's a
grinding.
machine. I don't
It's
know
gonna
how
be hard.
does he have the neighborhood block like you, where he can give all the beer away. I don't know how he does it, man. I don't know how he does it. Much love, Zach Pearson. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, and I appreciate that. Northwest Small Batch Brewing always showing love, man. You just get that one little donation, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. This is my favorite night of the week. You do it with or without the donations, but like you get one of those, and that you're fucking eating food for a week. Like you're going to Kroger, and you're coming out with Dino Nuggets for 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
NBC. I'll do an NBC for that. Should we do an NBC? You don't have to do one if you don't want to.
I don't even have. I finished my beer.
All right. I'm going to do it. You want to go get one while I do the NBC?
I'll go get one. Yeah.
I need to set up the little NBC thing in the corner right here so people
I
can.
know. I miss that. I haven't seen those in a while, man. All right, I'm gonna go get one.
Just say it.
Cheers, y'all. Appreciate that NBC, Zach 8 man. Pearson in the house, baby. There we go. There they are, coming alive. There's the emojis. Soon we can get some new Beetlejuice clips with the new one. I know I do got to do a new one. I definitely got to do a new one. They're showing up here in the chat, but the monitor thing doesn't know how to render it. That's funny as shit. And we got 70 people here, man. Thank you so much, Northwest Small Batch, and thank you so much, Zach U8, man. Cheers. We're going back to the Two Hearted IPA. And I do love this label. It's so less is more. Brian, can you see this?
Yeah, Bell's Two Hearted.
Bell's Two Hearted, but it's like the glass from Indiana Jones, the third one. Like Jesus was a carpenter. Like grab the least shiny beer you see at the store. If you didn't know about this, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like, metallic trout on metallic background with some orange,
Yeah, it doesn't pop out very much.
Doesn't pop out at all.
Pop out.
No, man. And I
went
what you got? Brown ale?
brown ale. I went brown ale.
You going homebrew?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you have a 10-gallon corny keg? Because I've got like the 5.2. No, I'm sorry,
No.
the kegerator.
Kegerator.
You can put like 4 of those in there?
I've got a 4-tap kegerator, but 3 of them have to be. It only holds 3 5-gallons and 1 2.5. And I don't ever have them all hooked up.
3 5-gallon. Okay, so you bought the $300 one. That's what people need to do.
It was my next door neighbors. He's like, "You want a chest freezer?" I said, "Yep."
Dude, you go to that restaurant that's going out of business, that's the first thing they want to give up because they like, what are
Yep.
they going to do with it? It's clunky, it's big. Refrigerators are pretty easy to come by for the most part. So
Yeah, I
for
mean,
home brewers, it's
I've got one, two, three. I've got two fridges in the garage. One was an old one. One was somebody wanted to get rid of it. And then the kegerator, chest freezer kegerator was somebody wanted to get rid of it. And then I
nice.
bought the smallest chest freezer they have at Lowe's for my fermentation chamber,
What was that? 100
which
bucks, 130 bucks.
100 maybe 130, something like that. Yeah.
Do you think that Keezers have better resale value if you keep it all together as a kegerator or if you put it back together as a chest freezer?
Oh, kegerator probably.
Kegerator probably. Like
Yeah,
but you have
someone's
to
probably gonna see it and be like, "Oh, that's cool, dude. I want to have beer in my garage."
$300. Yeah. Okay. And if it's
Yeah.
not, if it's just a Keezer again, I've got the $200 one. I've got the 5.2. What's that worth?
Oh,
Maybe
they
like
want, yeah, well, they want it like, yeah,
50
like
bucks.
garage sale style.
Yeah.
Like, I want to pay $20 for it, you know?
Yeah. And that's another thing you're talking about location, because when I was in San
Yeah.
Diego, you could pick and choose with resale value on Craigslist. Out here, it's like, if I post something, if I try to sell something, like whatever they give you for that first offer, just take it because you ain't ever getting a second offer. There's nothing going on out here. Like when I had that camper, I came out here, that little camper shell.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was such a hot commodity in San Diego. That was
Oh, yeah.
such a hot commodity. I came out here, people were like 96 Tacoma cab. What are they called? Not trailers.
The
Shells.
camper shell?
The shell. Yeah, the camper shell.
Okay.
Right, but you got to think about it. In San Diego, it's like construction capital of the world. I mean, these things are worth as much as the Tacoma, like a good one with the locks that work and they've got the windows and the suspension and I came out here, I was like, man, this is blowing my mind. This took me like a year to sell. And when I finally got the seller, it was so funny because it fit on this guy's car better than my car. It was so crazy. This guy drove out like an hour, broken English, didn't really, we knew enough to kind of, $500. And he came out with his buddy and I helped him out. And I have a single cab truck, but the cab that I had, the shell was was for the extended one. So it was kind of weird because there was like a gap at the bottom and then the lights up here would like rub. So it was just kind of weird, but it kind of worked. I put like a piece of towel in there. And I have a green truck and the shell was gold. And this guy showed up and he had the perfect car for it and the same color. I was like, dude, this is perfect, man. Like, here's, I'm not going to give you $100 off, but like, he's as stoked as I am.
This.
Yeah. Like
you need this. Yeah.
He is as
like,
stoked as I am. Yeah. Camper shell. What are we trying to say? Camper shell? 10.2 cubic freezer for lager. That's a big one. 10.2 is the one size up from Brian's. Brian's got to have like a 7.
No, I got yeah, that's it. Whatever the small one is. I don't even know what the cubic foot is. Yeah.
No. 10 cubic feet is big. That's
a big one.
That's
right?
a big one for
I
sure.
want to say mine's like
That's like $400 or $500.
like way less. Man, what are the small ones?
5.2 or $200 at Home Depot on those.
Okay, that must be that. Yeah.
All right, Brian. So my latest video, impressions click-through rate, not doing good. Average view duration, 7 minutes. Super high.
That's good.
That's good.
Really good.
So what do I do? Get my face off there and put on like Pam Anderson or Jenny McCarthy from Singled Out? And
that's what happened with my last one is the click-through rate went down. But it said
when you put your own face on it?
You said if you click on the little eye, it says it's getting more impressions. It's reaching a larger audience, which means it's getting less click-through because it's getting put in front of people that are like, well, I don't want to watch some shitty beer video,
It's weird how that works too. That's a whole other game. That's all because when I was doing, I don't know what
it'll
happened.
even out.
It'll even out. But I just changed something up for my I did a bartending video, beginner's guide to bartending the week before I went to San Diego, and that was like 45 days ago. So I'm really not putting out content.
All right. Yeah.
But I changed it to something, and Kyle from Clawhammer was like, no, do it like this. And it just bombed. It just got buried. And I went back for like a middle thing. Like instead of saying like how to become a bartender or like how to become a zero experience bartender, that's what everybody was going at. I just put in bartender for beginners, and I put in zero experience in parentheses after that. Now that's my highest viewed video by far in search traffic.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's getting about 150 views a day, which is a lot. That's like 3,500 or whatever, 4,000 a month. But I didn't know that search traffic is not good. I mean, it's all whatever, right. Like traffic's traffic, but like you want recommended videos and suggested videos showing up. You never like if you like Brian, if we Google something, how to flush your radiator, right?
Yeah, you're gonna find the video.
You're gonna look at the first 5 thumbnails, click on the one that's got probably the best thumbnail, the most views, and go on that. And you're starting all over with a new personality, a new face, a new shitty white guy with a beard, you know? So search traffic is like a whole other, like you're like a politician trying to get votes at this point, you know, like it's outside the community now, you know? So
yeah. And then you're just going to that video to watch it for one specific purpose, to picture whatever, you know, and
and more often
you're never going to go back.
You're never going to go back. Once you fix your radiator, you're done. And fortunately for me, I watch a ton of car mechanic stuff, so I do subscribe to these guys and show them love. Yeah. But the average person is just like, oh, I figured out how to do an oil change. I'm not gonna ever subscribe to, you know, your thing, you know. So, and it, you know, it goes both ways. Everything goes both ways, you know. Yeah. Cityscape, much love, bro. She's out of here. $299 at Best Buy. Juvenal, what you talking about? The 7.2 or the 10? Dude, the 10 is big. I can carry. I can carry the 5.2. I remember grabbing that, putting it in my truck, getting it out. I can't do any more up from that. Maybe if you can get the 7.2, you wrap the thing around your waist, kind of like what guys do when they're grabbing washer and dryers, the stackable one, or the ones, or they're grabbing fridges. But nah, man, you're gonna have to have a buddy for that stuff. Hoppy Hour, Elementary Brew Co., Silverhammer Brewing. What do you make your thumbnails with? Are you still rocking Canvas?
Canva, yep, Canva.
What do they charge us? Like $15 a month? It's not bad. It's not bad.
I don't even know. Because I'm a teacher, I actually get a free account for that. So
I should have been a teacher.
Use it. Yeah.
Mold young. Oh, I'd be fired faster than Jack Black from School of Rock. This is one of my favorites.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I don't really like beer that much.
E equals MC squared. Yeah. No, I think I pay $12.99 a month. And if you get one good thumbnail, like, it's all worth it. Because those were the things that used to drive me the crazy. Like, they're driving me crazy right now. Like, my average view duration is through the absolute roof. It's going to go down over time. Because right now it's going from community.
No, but 7 minutes is solid.
Is solid. That's why I do the top 5, right? That's what everybody did back in the day. It was like top. Yeah. Remember the Best Damn Sports Show? Their whole shtick was top 5 bus, top 5, Ryan Leaf guys, top 5 hardest hitters, top 5 this and that, because you have to stick around at number 1. That's oldest trick in the book. So average view duration is a monster on this one, but impressions click-through rates at 13%. Like, you want to be at like, I don't know, like 20% for the first 12 hours.
Yeah, but 13's still not too bad.
Yeah, but I always play that game, and Kyle from Clawhammer, we both play the game. It's like, if it starts bombing, you're like, this is our last video, yeah, this is the end of the world. Like, oh my God, we got robbed. You have to just go with the ultimate clickbait. Yeah. But what's funny? Here's a funny story is I've got girls I'll put on a video from time to time. Like, you just buy. Yeah. So I've got Canva. Sometimes you can get the images from there. I haven't paid for Shutterstock in a long time, but it's funny when you get someone to comment. They're like, hey, I just watched that whole video. Like, where was the girl from the thumbnail? You're like, I got him. I got him. I got him.
That's funny.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
a San Diego vlog about a year ago, and I called it "What's the best IPA?" Best IPA question mark. Because if you call it San Diego vlog, no one gives a shit. They already know what the video's about.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
But if you're like best IPA, people are like, "Oh, really?" And then I've got a girl up there looking like the MILF teacher, and then the chalkboard, and yeah, it's actually it's got me some subscribers and followers, and I still get like a comment on that video every couple times a week. It's funny how that works.
Yep.
Tim,
That's funny.
it is funny. Tim Quinney, what's up, doggy? Hops and Gnarly, he uses Illustrator. I don't have
And there's a
Illustrator.
couple
I got
others.
Photoshop.
Adobe Express is real similar to Canva.
Is it on the App Store? No, you log into it. Silverhammer. I could probably just
There's not
give you my
there's not an app
login.
for it?
What's up?
There's not an app for Canva?
I don't want there to be an app for it because then I don't want to do it on my phone. I want to be on the screen like a WYSIWYG.
Yeah,
What you see?
because that's where I do them. I do them on my phone. There's
Oh,
an
you
app.
do?
There should be an app. Yeah, I do it on my phone.
Oh, I would never do it. I need the 1080 by 1920.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, well, I usually look at them before I publish on my computer. So
You know, I always thought that was crazy. People that edit videos and they do iMovie and stuff on their phone. Like
dude, my first like, I don't know, 15, 20 videos were iMovie on my phone.
really?
Yeah,
How do you cut it and you just like zoom, like pull your
It was
finger?
it was a pain, dude. It
Yeah.
was and then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I need to start looking at this on a computer. Did that, and then I went DaVinci Resolve. So but I'm still using the free version of DaVinci. So
That's your editor?
yep.
Is that Sony?
I don't know. I think it's Black Magic.
Huh.
Who makes it? I don't know.
Party time's taking off,
DaVinci
man.
Resolve. You're using
Final Cut.
what is it? Final Cut.
Started with Premiere, went to Final Cut, but like at the end of the day,
Premiere.
it doesn't matter for what I do. Like when I first got into really editing and trying to make a good 10-minute video, and I don't even know if I don't know if my videos are good or bad. You know, it's very subjective, but it was like, oh, I got to go back.
I watch them all. They're good.
Appreciate that. I watch all yours too. And the thing about your videos is I don't know what you're doing production wise as far as the filter goes, but every video you put out gets more and more cinematic.
I like that look, man. That's kind of what I'm going for.
Is it just the
that whole
camera?
cinematic feel. Dude, I have a Canon M50, like the cheapest entry level with the kit
Mirrorless?
lens on it. The kit lens? No, I'm still using just the kit on it, and I don't do any color grading or anything like that. I'm just rolling.
You're just
It's
raw
just-
dogging it? Do you
I have the settings in the camera set to a different, the whatever you call those,
thank you, Nick Smith. Much love.
white balance, all that.
I don't mess with any
Okay.
of that stuff. No.
I did do a custom setting on that, but that's it. So in camera setting only.
Can I ask you a question about Amazon affiliates?
Yeah,
Do you put the camera in there?
I do.
Have
I
you ever had a
did.
big payout? Have you ever seen like
Nope.
Neither have I. I think my biggest Amazon affiliate day was like 30 or 40 bucks. And more often than
Yeah,
not,
I
it's like
don't-
$3.
Yeah, nobody really clicks through.
No,
They'll
they
click through on the-
do. They do. You just have to move a
just don't
lot.
buy, yeah.
You have to move a
Yeah.
lot. Like I think I sold $25,000 worth of Amazon last month and I got a check for like $400.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah, I
like
know.
I'm going to make these videos anyway. So, and here's the parts. And I look at what got sold and it's all like K grader parts and swivels and 3/8 drill bits and these weird
The little stuff.
the
yeah.
little things, you know, a lot of beer line, a lot of silicone, a lot of 3/16. What's beer line? 3/16 inner diameter.
I don't even know. I just got this duo tight from Kegland, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this stuff is rad." It's tiny.
Are you gonna have you made a video and put it on Amazon affiliates yet?
No.
Dude, it's gonna hit, man. People always have to buy beer line.
You know
or
what everybody
silicone.
commented on
or
was on that
vinyl.
one video is that Pluto beer gun I had.
Dude, that thing was awesome. Is that on
Dude,
Amazon?
that thing is. It's not on Amazon. You got to go More Beer for it or Kegland, which is
Dude,
Australia. So More Beer in the States.
is there
But I do have an affiliate. I have an affiliate link for More Beer. So
is it as good
I
as
was sending
Amazon
that
or
out. I was sending that out left and right. Like, oh yeah, what's that thing? Oh here, check it out. This is I just put the affiliate link in the comment.
um I love that. And I love this too. Hops and Gnarly. CH, have you ever seen random weird shit in your Amazon sales? I have. And that means he has too. And this happened a couple of years ago. But it was like, because I think once they click
They
on the
go
link
through.
and then
Yeah,
stay on
they buy
Amazon,
whatever. Yeah,
it like stays on the cash or on the cookies or whatever the hell. And they buy some like glow in the dark fleshlight, you still get kickback on that. And I saw that one time. I got some weird
yeah.
sex object. I remember showing my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, dude, like you got to push Amazon more. So like I put 10, 5 or 10 of my next videos into Amazon affiliate. Of course, nothing hits. Like there's nothing at all. Like I thought like a gold coin or a diamond ring would show up or something, nothing at all. So it's Amazon's a weird one. But sometimes Hops and Gnarly knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't even look through. I don't even check my Amazon
You can look at all of
affiliates.
it.
Like
You can look,
I
it
don't
could show
even,
you
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
I don't even look at it like maybe once every 4 months. I'm like just whatever. I don't even know what's in there.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know.
That
Sometimes,
was the thing. I hit up Chris Vodka for like a rebranding. So he was on here earlier, but I just emailed him. So I've been like way unhappy with my merch. And so I'm trying to go a different route on that. I
okay.
love Brucho's got quality, but like the stuff that I have, what is it? I do Spreadshirt right now, but the logo wears off after like 3 washes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
You
like,
can't have
dude,
that.
I hate that. I'm like, this is junk, dude. So I'm going for the rebrand, and that'll probably be the next big push. Is like I want some cool merch, dude.
Would you ever do it like where you would buy 500 t-shirts and then sell them out of your garage and then go to the post office
No,
every day?
no, but there's a
That's a,
place in
that,
Visalia that does drop shipping, Visual Ink. And so as long as I go to them with the graphic design, like I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, I want like the pocket tee with the logo on the pocket, the old skate and punk t-shirts from back in the day. Like
back in
I'm
the
going,
80s.
yeah, like good quality. Like I don't want crap.
No, and I hear you. And I remember getting a couple comments about the sweatshirts and how people buy merch for, 40, $50, and then the sweatshirts would come off after a couple washes. And I just took them down immediately. But,
Yeah.
it's hit or miss. Like, God, I had the best Apartment Brewer red T-shirt that was just so damn good, and I lost it. I think I left it in Florida or Austin. I got to get another one. And then I bought a T-shirt. Maybe it was one of my own shit, my own merch store. And this thing was like, it shrunk after 3 seconds, and or 3 washes, and it all came off. And I was just like, God, you guys are so inconsistent, man. Like if you can do it good
Yeah.
this time, why can't you do it good all the time? This
Well,
doesn't
and
make
that's the
sense.
thing. Blackwood's saying like my t-shirts lasted the longest. That must have been the not the Teespring. The Teespring ones, they flaked. I took all that stuff down. I went with spread shop.
Okay.
But I always get like samples from them, and so I got like a sweatshirt, and that's I wear it in some of my videos. It's like the thing is like wore off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I still have like the original Homebrew for Life t-shirts that I bought, because you get them, for whatever, like the $6 or $7
Yours has lasted a long time. I don't know even who it was through, if it was through Teespring or.
right here, man.
Yeah, those are solid. Yeah,
Super solid.
I have your old
You've
school
got
one,
the
and that
white
thing
one. Yeah.
yeah, the white one, yeah, and that thing lasted forever. Yeah,
No, and I appreciate that. And and people send me pictures, and I love it when they're wearing the merch. But I think it was only the sweatshirts. But if someone's like, "Hey, this thing isn't working," I take it down instantly. Like I don't trust the sweatshirts at all.
yeah,
I did get flagged for my Zelda t-shirt. That's the second t-shirt that I've been flagged for copyright, which is fucking bullshit because like
Yeah.
it's
See, that's and
dangerous to
that's
go
like
alone, take this, and he's holding up a beer. It's like, dude, I've seen that
yeah.
on everything. And I stole that from
So that's
a
what I
coffee mug.
yeah. Yeah, I sent vodka a couple things like the old social distortion. That's what I want on one of the things, but instead of the skeleton with the martini and the cigarette, he's holding a mash paddle, a beer, and he's got a ball cap on,
Yes,
not the regular one.
yes,
And then it would
yes.
say Elementary Brewing, but it looks the same as social distortion.
Yeah.
Am I going to get flagged for copyright on that stuff, dude?
Yeah, probably. Goose Fraba, Homebrew for Life Zelda one is faded. I wear it and wash it a lot. You can't get that anymore, but I know what you're talking about because it was so little on that because it was just like a little 8-bit thing. I think if it's a bigger logo, it kind of stays together better. But I had the same problem with that T-shirt as well. I totally forgot about that. And I didn't even have to take it off the store because it got flagged. And then I had another one, the Supreme T-shirt where it's got that.
Yep.
What's the font family? It's
Yeah, but I know it's like that bigger, thicker, like the red Supreme.
yeah, it's kind of at like a 45-degree angle. And I just did
Yeah.
homebrew, and that was up for a week, and they took it down. I was like, how do you guys flag something that doesn't say Supreme? Like, I can use that
So
font.
who flags you then?
Teespring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they say, yeah, it looks too similar, and they just say you're done.
I mean, the name of the game is that I think even my buddies who made t-shirts that would get cease and desist, it was like if there's something remotely close and the company's bigger, they send that to you and people freak out and just discontinue it. But I think if you
Yeah.
really wanted to fight like fire with fire, you're like, or what? Like how, if you had a good
Yeah.
lawyer to be like, well, there's just so different. And well, you have like the monopoly on this font family. You're the only one that can use red in a rectangle or a square.
Yeah.
Kiss
With
my
that
ass.
font. Like, come on,
Yeah, eat
man.
some shit.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like, wouldn't you be promoting like people like, oh, I get it. That's like the Supreme shirt or something. Like you made him think of something else. Isn't that kind of cross? I don't know. I know I'm kind
Yeah.
of doing the the devil's pretzel logic, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We live in a country where everyone's so trigger happy to I'll see you in court or this and that. But somehow the Zelda got flagged. Supreme got flagged, but MTV's purring like a kitten, man. MTV is just
I know, dude. Yeah.
it's on its ninth live or something, and yeah,
Yeah.
or
That's
like
right, because you have the MTV logo. So how does that not get flagged? Yeah, that doesn't make.
not only that, but I see that around. I watch Steve-O's podcast. He's wearing the retro MTV.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, man, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get busted. I'm fuck him up. I'll turn myself in now.
A brew question: do I need to sanitize cocoa nibs before adding to the fermenter, and how? I have always soaked my cocoa nibs in
Oh yeah, this is a
vodka.
brewing podcast.
Yeah, I've always
Nobody
soaked
asked
my
me a
cocoa
question.
nibs in vodka.
Just put them in
And
there like a tincture.
yeah, make a tincture, and then I always take the cocoa nibs out and I just dump the tincture in.
The problem
I don't
with
even.
putting them in vodka is you have to make sure that they're all submerged, or else you'll fuck up like
Yeah.
me with Madagascar cocoa beans, and they will get mold on them. It's got to be
Yeah.
fully submerged. Yeah. And, well, the
Fully
bummer,
submerged.
the bummer about the cocoa, I don't know if it was Jasmine or Madagascar, but like they stick out. They're so long that you've got to fill
Vanilla
the thing
beans.
up to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always did with the vanilla beans. I sliced them open, took the stuff out of the
Should've
middle,
just
and then
done that.
chopped them up real small, and then
Yep.
put them in. Because I think every time I've done cocoa nibs, I've used vanilla beans too. And
And
then I
that's,
don't even put that stuff in. I put just the tincture in. I
dude,
just put
and
the vodka.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the real extract. Like if you really want to cut up some cocoa
Yeah.
beans, and we were doing that back in the day. Remember when cocoa beans were super expensive?
Yeah.
I think they're back to like, I don't know, a couple bucks or $4 or $5.
Costco's got good deals on the good Madagascar vanilla beans.
Good to know, and those things aren't like people don't brew with those anymore. I remember like when you'd go to a brewery and you saw cocoa beans, you were like, dude, like a vanilla stout. This,
Yeah.
Booze Brothers has this beer called Chocolate Swirl. We're getting this. I don't care if it's summertime and it's 8%. Like, it's an
Yeah.
ice cream beer. Let's rock
Yeah.
and roll. And then people just either got rid of that style or cut a lot more corners. But Vanilla Bean, like, I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time. I haven't seen it on labels. I haven't seen it on descriptions. I don't drink a lot of stouts, but I don't know. And it's, as soon as you get into mass production, and, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Whenever you have something that you like, you go to a brewery and that's a really good beer, or it's a really good cocktail, or really good whatever. Especially beer, though. You can't really like cut corners with, barbecue or food. If you have this apricot sour, that's as good as that beer's ever going to get, which is the bummer about that. Because the bigger that they grow that beer, the more they get it into distribution and get it to more territories. They're not using natural stuff. They're not using, flash frozen puree. It's going to be all extract, artificial sugar, whatever it is. And I've noticed that at a lot of places in San Diego. And one place I'll throw under the bus because I have nothing to lose is Tony Hawk's Brewery. What was it called? What's the Black Plague? You guys get Black Plague in the Central Coast?
Yeah.
No?
I've never. It's so Tony Hawk's Brewery. Where is it based out of?
Oceanside.
California?
Yeah.
Oceans.
Yeah, so he tried to get into the game right after all those guys did with, remember St. Archer? I've talked about this before. So they were the original, like the X Games guys that got together like right at the same time when Instagram was kind of coming up, like 10, 12 years ago.
All right.
And they all had their followers, pro skating, pro surfing, pro motocross. And they put this brand together called St. Archer. And then they sold out to Budweiser. And Tony Gwynn and Nyjah Houston, a lot of other guys, pro skaters, tried to do that like 5-7 years later and just clearly did not. I mean, they're still around, and Tony Hawk's, they slap his name on everything. Tony Hops, their number one beer. But it was back to a timing thing where like they were just late to the craft beer table in San Diego. And I remember going into Black Plague right when it opened. I had like this really good blood orange IPA. Just you could tell that this fruit was pressed. Like this was real fruit. And then I had it like a couple of years ago in Oceanside at Mission Bar and Grill. And I had one sip. I was like, this is straight extract. This is straight syrup. You're shooting down my throat. Like this sucks, And I get it. He's got the name. It's whatever, blood orange IPA. But like, this is gross, and it's going to get grosser and grosser until it gets discontinued.
Yeah.
And you can't go back from that. Once you have a beer that's killing it, like do you guys get Mother Earth's Cali Creamin'?
I have seen that around. Yeah.
Okay. So one time that was Vanilla Bean, and then it was, it was on Nitro, and obviously you can't hack Nitro, but it was so good. And now when you try it now, you're like, this is vanilla soda. Like this is just, this is just different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I tried. I got some extracts. Just like it's so different. I don't know. I haven't had anything that's.
Dude, Mikey Taylor. Yeah, this guy knows what's up. Mikey Taylor. That was part of. God, we just talked about it. St. Francis, St. Archer. It was like Eric Costin. You know Eric Costin? You know Eric. Yeah, you do. Pro skater.
Name doesn't ring a bell, but
Brian Hansen.
Okay.
You don't remember these guys? Okay. Either way. Yeah, but Brewdub knows what's up. Mikey Taylor. Yeah. I mean, I needed that in multiple choice form or for him just to tell me that. But these guys made a lot of money, and it was a good thing. Like I remember that they were all allowed to buy in for no more than 10%. And then they, sold out a couple of years after that, and they all made money.
Yeah.
Yeah. When beer was the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
In San Diego.
Yeah, I remember
We're talking
when
like
I was still down there.
2013.
Yeah, like I was still like 21, 22, and that was when, gosh, dude, what was the name of the Carl Strauss?
It was Carl Strauss, maybe
That
Pizza
was
Port,
just, yeah, Pete. I had never even heard of Pizza Port, but I remember we got a keg at a buddy's house of like Carl Strauss beer, and I
the
was like,
Red
dude, this is
Trolley. Carl's,
so good.
yeah, was it Red Trolley?
So it might have been.
It was the Red
It
Trolley.
might have been. I don't remember. I don't remember. That was young,
Yeah.
way back in the day, but they've been around forever. And now Carl Strauss has that tap room brewery right across the street from Angel Stadium.
Yep.
Beautiful place, man.
And then they still got, the big one up in San Diego or in
Yeah.
North County where I used to live, right next to Legoland.
Okay.
I'm sure they're
Yeah,
still making
yeah.
a fortune in that
Yeah.
that golf course right there, the Crossings. Nicest golf course I've ever played.
Yeah.
They're making money. I mean, Carl Strauss,
Yeah, they're doing fine. Yeah, I'm sure.
Carl Strauss. When you were down here visiting, do you remember AleSmith or anything?
No, but I've heard of them.
Ale
I think I
Smith.
can get that around here too.
Well, their big beers,
There's some bottle shops, yeah.
yeah, and they've got the Tony Gwynn beer, the 394, the year that he was batting 394, and then they went on
All
strike.
right.
That's a huge beer. And then they tried to do it with LaDainian Thomason, but like LaDainian never, was going to break any
Yeah.
crazy rushing yard. But nah, man, it was cool. It was cool, man. That was, God, I remember when AleSmith came out, that was like, dude, they came out with the Tony Gwynn beer as my favorite baseball player of all time by so far.
Yeah.
And it was like, you have to buy this beer, this
Yeah.
6.4 pale ale. Juvenal Hernandez, man, always showing love. Just donated $15. Cheers to Wednesdays, fellas. Cheers to Juvenal, another Californian. You guys are holding it down out there, man. Juvenal's a home brewer. We've shopped at the same homebrew store. He's run into the brew show. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Red Trolley Red Trolley is all I drink at Disneyland. Tombstone Top, what's up, brother? Carl Strauss. Didn't get the kids. Let me move. From Hanson, open up a brewery at some point. Sparger Brewing, I do not know that. I would bet against that, but I also don't know what I'm talking about. But anybody with money can kind of invest at this point. Ron Barnes, that's what happened to Schmitz back in the day. They went from the number one in the country to almost extinct today from dropping quality. That's how it goes, man. It's all about the margins, and with margins comes cutting corners.
About the margins.
It's all about the margins, man. I wondered why Elementary had Visalia. Now I know it's a city. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. So the
driven through it.
Instagram has Elementary Brewing Co. Visalia. Like I couldn't do Elementary Brewing Co. Yeah, Visalia is a city. Not a big city, but it's a city.
Nick Smith, Speedway Stout. I remember that. I remember buying bombers of that. God, remember when bombers were like the new trophy? Buying bombers for $6.99, $7.99. It was like, we're gonna break this open on a special occasion, or we're not. I'm just gonna play video games and drink 4 of them. Yeah.
Oh, who was it? Who was it that like the arrogant bastard ale? Who is that?
Stone.
Stone. They did the vertical epics of those. They had bombers of those. And I bought one. It was like, oh, I'm supposed to break this open in like 2 years from today's date.
Yeah, man. Stone ruled the world, man. Stone ruled the world. Denoid Elementary, your videos are lit. Shout out to Denoid.
Thank you, Denoid.
Do you remember the Stone bottle that was like 3 feet high that had a lock on it, like a little diary lock?
No.
You don't remember that? Does anybody in here remember? I've never seen it till then. I've never seen it to this day.
A lock.
It had a lock on it. Yeah, it was so wild. Like these guys are selling this shit for like $150, and people are. That was one of the last times I've seen people crave to buy something, and it's wild, like shit like that, or peanut butter and jelly beer. You're gonna buy.
Yeah, what is that? What is the really expensive one that? Who makes it now?
You're talking about like
that $500 bottle. What's it called, dude?
You're talking about Nick Pitt right here, baby. You're talking about God,
Utopia.
The Central Coast. No,
Utopia.
I was thinking of Firestone. Remember Firestone?
Yeah, because I drive by that when we go to the coast, like yeah, in the summertime, like on a weekly basis, it feels like
But you
cars
remember
don't
their
walk.
barreled reserve stuff that was like anywhere from $60 to $200, and it came in like a bottle of cognac. It'd be like a 22 of beer, and then they'd put it in another like paper schleet thing, like
I
a
don't
box.
remember. No, I don't remember those. I do have a box of their. I do have one of their beers. It's just a little 12 ouncer though of their Parabola, which is a
Yes,
barrel aged,
the
and
parabola.
that was like $20 for just like a little 12 ouncer. I still have it. It's just chilling.
God, I gotta pull up.
Utopia. Sam Adams Utopia is that's the one you get on Amazon right now, and some of those things are selling for like $1,000.
What?
Yeah, Utopia. I think you can buy it like a new, like if you were to get a 2023, 2024, it's probably going to be like $500.
I
Sam
just
Adams Utopia. It's in this crazy, crazy bottle that looks like a copper kettle.
I just want my Frank Zappa beers. I mean, you saw those, right?
Rick Zappa beers. Yeah, I still have some Zappa hops. I have a 2 ounce thing of them that I got like maybe 4 years ago. They're still sitting in the freezer.
I've got them
I haven't
too.
figured out.
I
I
made
haven't
a
figured
video
out
on
what
them.
to put it in yet.
God, hold on. Let me find it. Nobody remembers the big beer that had a lock on it. Stone. It was Stone. It was like double Magnum or double Bastard. Because
Is it?
A Magnum
Yeah,
is like
a Magnum
is a
big.
condom, but it's also
Yeah,
it's the wine bottle, and they
yeah,
would
the
call
big
it like
wine bottle.
a Stone
Patrick Sanders remembers the giant arrogant bastard
beer.
bottle. But was it just their arrogant bastard that was just in a huge bottle?
Maybe that's what it was, but it was called like a double. Oh man, Patrick, help me out. Can we find it? When you're selling beer with like a little girl's diary lock on it and you're selling out, you're successful as hell. And that was
Yeah,
Stone back in like 2005, which is fucking crazy to think about. That's almost 20 years ago.
Jack Pearson. It was arrogant bastard. It's 2.5 foot tall. Yeah.
Yes.
Double bastard ale.
Funny thing about this now is it's Stone and everyone hates Stone. Like people probably wouldn't even want this. Like if I put this on Instagram, nobody would care. That was the cringiest thing I've ever said. But like if you tried to show it off, no one would give a shit. Someone's got to have a picture of this, but they can't put pictures in here unless I make them a moderator. I got to make them all
Uh,
moderators.
yeah.
It's all good though. How we doing over there? We're coming up on an hour 45. Teach. We got one more in us.
Good. I finished my third, so I think I'm gonna have to. I gotta work tomorrow, so
Are we
I
calling
gotta
it
be
after
up early.
this?
Whatever you want to do, man.
I'm
I'm
gonna
good with
do one
whatever.
more. You're good though.
I'll hang out. Yeah, I'm good.
You're hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's only what 7:30 in your world.
What time is it? 7:55.
It's 11
7:55.
o'clock in my time. All
Oh
right,
yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
late
NBC
for you,
this.
man. I would be.
We'll do one more.
Cheers to you for staying up till 11.
Oh, I don't go to bed. I've never gone to bed. But we could wrap with the chat, actually talk some beer stuff, see what's going on.
Yep.
Uno more, uno más, uno more. All right, one
Yeah,
sec.
I'm good, dude. I'm good. Vienna Lager, getting ready to keg, doing a that black IPA is another one that I need to revisit because I made one a long time ago and I did not like it. It was way too bitter, but I probably screwed something up. The other one that I had a buddy brewed a tropical IPA, which is kind of like a black IPA, but I think that's what it's called, a tropical IPA. It was really good. But yeah, black IPA. If it's done right, I think it can be really good. Yeah, so the Sam Adams Utopia, that is, and Brewdog. Brewdog make uber expensive beers. What is the name of a Brewdog beer that is really expensive, Patrick Sandy? Yeah, I've seen some of those Utopias for sale on eBay for like $1,000. Crazy. Crazy. Tropical Stout. That is it. Yes, Silverhammer. Sorry, it wasn't a tropical IPA. It was a tropical stout. And it was really, really good.
Double
So
bastard.
black IPA, tropical stout are two that I kind of want to revisit.
It's ringing a bell. Talking to Nick Smith really quick, though. Oh, Hops and Gnarly coming through like a barrage. There it is. Shout out to Hops and Gnarly. Can you see that?
Sort of. Yeah.
No, look at it.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you see the locks on it?
Yep.
Is that a Magnum? I used to think it was way bigger, but
Yeah.
I was also a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Hops, man. Barrage alert. Coming through. Yeah, probably back in the day that was $100. I mean, I would still love to have one. You know, I don't know if they. I don't know. Everyone hates Stone, and everyone hates these guys, and that dude definitely sucked. But at the end of the day, like, I'd probably be saying the same shit if I was Greg Koch. You know, like, we're never gonna sell out. We're, you know, yellow fizz is for wussies. Actually, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably say some dumb other shit, but it'd probably be just as cringe. But yeah, man, Stone at one time was bigger than the Ballast Point. Stone sold out to Sapporo for like $100 million. Ballast Point sold out to Constellation for $1 billion. Crazy. We'll never see that ever again. Unless like
Shohei Ohtani going to the Dodgers for $700.
Wild. Not only that, but they got another guy from Japan. They spent $1 billion, which is funny because they didn't.
Well, they're not even paying him.
Well, not only that, but
deferring it.
Who made it the furthest in the AFC West last year? Or the NL West?
NL West was the
who went to the World Series?
The Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks. So they spent $1 billion to beat the shitty ass Diamondbacks. This is what they're worried about. Chargers will always blow it. Or I'm sorry, the Padres will always blow it. Padres will always shit the bed.
The Angels are always going to blow it, so whatever.
Yeah, and that's why baseball, it's not even like a team. I mean, it's a team sport, but it's not a team sport like football where you need like everything to click. Baseball is such a weird sport. Like, you could have two of the best athletes of all time, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and that could mean nothing. You know, if you have two of the best athletes of all time on a basketball team, you're going to win a lot. You're going to win a lot.
Like 5 guys on the court, so that's almost half your talent out there.
Maybe I said that wrong. Maybe baseball is the most team sport of all time.
You need to have the whole team come together.
Yeah.
Football. I think football is, I mean, there's a lot of guys out on the field too. You got to have the team come together because it's not going to just be a couple stars.
True. And
although if your stars are in the right spot, I guess it makes a big difference.
This is wild, man. Like, I listened to this new podcast. It was talking. Do you watch Audiorama? It's the one with Joe Buck and Dan Patrick, where they do a live studio audience. They've had on everybody, and they had Ed Reed on, and Ed Reed's like, he's complaining about how players don't get paid and this and that. I'm like, dude, Ed, like, if you played in the 70s or the 80s or even the 90s, like, this would have been way worse. You know, like, you got paid like $7-8 million a year, and I understand that you're gonna have some injuries. You played football at an extremely high level your whole life, but like, I don't know, man. It could be way worse. Like, guys in the 80s and 90s were making like $150,000 a year. You know, guys nowadays are making like $50 million a year, and even with like
crazy.
The parallel lines of inflation, like, this does not add up at all. Crazy. You know, like, if you watch athletes from the 60s and the 70s, pretty much up until the 90s, like, any pro sport, basketball, football, or baseball, wasn't like a year-round thing. Like, a lot of these guys had other jobs, and this was kind of like a summer thing, or, you know, so it was a lot worse, you know, and like the pads were this thin, and people didn't believe in concussions, and, you know, like it used to be a lot funkier.
Yeah.
But any which way, we're kind of coming down to the wire. I'll probably be up all night, but Brian's going to probably cut out after this. And I appreciate him from coming on. I appreciate all you guys for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
Had a good hangout.
It's always good.
No, and I was trying to think about this earlier. When was the last time you came on? So I'm getting a little loosey goosey.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. I try to pop in every
You're always
week and
showing
hang
me
out
love,
with
bro.
Pat. Yeah,
We're
I
always
like to
showing
be in
love.
the. I mean, it's either way, whether I'm in the chat or on the screen. It's always a blast, dude. It's a good time.
It is a good time, and I'm really glad that you're one of the diehards that you're definitely putting out content more than I am, more than most of us are. And, we talked about, Larry and Brian and, Genius. I got to hit up Genius, see what he's up to. But,
Yeah, there's a few guys. I'm like, man, they just fell off. Like
shit, I'm one of
where'd
them,
they
man.
go?
Hops and
Yeah,
gnarly.
well,
What's the longest you've ever taken off a video? And Brian, what's the longest you've ever taken off a video? I'm talking about like a video, not like,
yeah,
putting out a
video like
short.
full length video, probably
Yeah.
like 2 months is my
2 months?
longest. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. There was a couple times last year I went back and looked at the beginning of the year. I was like, oh man, it was like hit or miss. There was a few times where it would go like I'd put out one video a month, and then there was probably one month where it was like it stretched to like 2 months.
James and I just
I'm
had
gonna,
this
I know.
conversation. Party time, yeah.
I'm gonna try not
Exact
to
same
let that
conversation.
happen. Try not to let that happen this year. I've got. I sat down over my break and I was like, I need to get stuff planned and kind of get stuff hammered out. I've got all my stuff ordered. I've got 2 videos planned. Hopefully, I can pull it off through May.
How often do you
So
prep for a video? How much do you improvise and how much do you write stuff out?
it's hit or miss. Kind of depends on the video.
Like you write your main
It's
points down?
Yeah, it's hard because I'll get in these modes where I'm just like, man, this is what I'm gonna say, this is what I'm gonna say, and I just like write everything down. But then I
Good.
get to the actual brew day and I'm like, yeah,
Wait.
that doesn't sound right. So I try to, I try to I try to sound natural. I try to just talk. And so sometimes reading from something is not the same as talking. So
No, and it
uh
can come off maybe too well rehearsed or too much like you're reading something or you're,
yeah. I mean,
like,
yeah.
and you see that even watching the Academy Awards. You're like, this guy's staring at a teleprompter. Like, there's no
Yeah,
doubt
yeah,
about this. Or,
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
who was I watching the other night? I think it was like Brian Urlacher's Hall of Fame speech came up, and I was like, yeah, this guy's clearly like, this is not coming from the
Reading
heart. And
from
this
the
guy's a football
teleprompter,
player who's been
yeah,
whacked in his head the whole time. It's a little bit different than an actor, like he needs
yeah.
some lines.
He
He needs
needs,
you to hold
yeah, he
up
needs some
the
love.
cue
Yeah.
cards. Yeah. Hey, Warren
I get,
Cox.
yeah.
We got 5 happy hour memberships. Come on
I'm
down.
happy
Warren
about
always
it.
showing love, man. The fucking Braji, the Aussie Braji. Brandon McMillian, he's pulling out 5 snipers from the tower. Ronald LaFrance, what's up, man? You're busted. You're busted. You've been hanging out, not chatting.
Get over here!
Joshua Barron or Baron, much love, man. Good looking beard. Brandon McMillan, I'm never going to forget this. Dr. Black Bear, good looking name, and Matthew Posh, man. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for being quiet but deadly.
Get over here!
Or silent but deadly. But no. Hey, Brian, let's make it a couple more. I want to try to put out 25 to 35 videos this year. Do you have any goals?
That's
Do
a
you
lot.
It's a
What would
lot.
it be? I think 20. So there's 52 weeks in a year. So if I go every other week, which is kind of like,
It's
that's kind
possible.
of, that would be
Actually,
20,
sorry.
24, 25 videos. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But also like I figure like if you're putting out this type of content, like you could, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm assuming that I know what your life and your 9 to 5 is like, but I'm kind of just speaking for myself. But
Yeah.
I could do that
It's like,
if you
yeah,
don't get
it's,
burned out. 30
yeah.
videos a year in the homebrewing world is a lot,
Well, and it depends on what the content is too. If it's a grain to glass, that's hard to do because, man, shoot,
It's going to take
at
forever.
the end of the day, I want to make good beer too. And sometimes beer takes a little bit more time than you're wanting it to.
Dude, and I look
It
at
has a mind of its own,
yeah, I'm filming a video next week with one of my younger brages, and we're gonna do like top 10 cocktails from the most popular movies ever. It's like
Yeah,
we could
yeah,
zip through this video, and I look at
yeah,
and I'm not trying to brag, which means I'm gonna sound like a douchebag, and I'm trying to brag, but I'm saying like if you were the brew show or climber or anybody, if you took kind of like your skill set and moved it over to like, hey, let's do a cocktail video or whatever, you'd rip these guys alive, like production wise. Like the videos I look at that have 1 million views, it's like a dude sitting there, mediocre audio, and he's like, or Hops and Gnarly would fucking slay ball it if he had just one bartending video. And I look at these videos and they've got 800,000 views. It's like, hey, what's up, guys? Today we're just going to film like the top 10 beginner things of like what to do. And I'm like, how did this find the algorithm? Like, this is insane, man. Like, if you took like the top 10 guys in the homebrewing world and just put it over to something else, but you can't blame them. Like, they're doing what they're doing. We're doing what we're doing. Yeah. But it's like, if you just took this production value and put it over there, I'd stick around way more in the 12 seconds that I looked at this guy's video. And it's just one shot of this guy, wide angle, and then another camera on his hands. That's it. And he just talks you through it. He's like, hey, today we're going to like grab this, what am I trying to say? What's in a mojito?
Ginger
a mint.
beer?
He's like, hey, today we're gonna like grab the mint, give it the old like slapperoo, the old like slapperoony, give it a like spank its little butt, and we're gonna put it in there. I'm just looking at him like, this thing has 1 million fucking views, man. This video made like $3,300. I'm over here like breaking my back over peanut butter and jelly bullshit. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh, Hops and Gnarly, I think pound for pound, like.
Yeah, his videos are solid. Brew Show. Your videos, solid editing. Yeah.
I think me and Hops are kind of on the different spectrum. Mine's like ADHD'd out. Hops is like chill. You know, like I want to like get into an elevator and take my pants off and just kind of go from there, you know.
That's what's great. At the end of the day, we're all kind of talking about beer, and there's just a different way to do it.
It's a different style. It's just a different, And people, you know, spend how much time do you spend looking for music or songs or trying to find something that's
I love the music part of it, dude. I've always like connected with music, and I try to find stuff that like fits it. You know? I like that part. Yeah. That's the editing part. I really like the editing part, you know?
Yeah. No, and it's cool when people like when they do the video and they do like every time there's a snare, they'll kind of, you know, like zoom in or pull out or, you know, chop it up. If my videos got more views, I think I'd pay a little bit more attention to stuff like that. Yeah. But as far as mine goes, it's just like, I don't even know how to like explain. Like, I just feel like if I'm going to write a video, I've got to kind of like be truthful on like 70% of it and then like kind of like shit on 30% of it, you know? Cause like not everything can be good. Like not the things that they sent you or like maybe the beer you're drinking that day. It's like, you got to kind of like, you got to kind of make fun of some shit, you know? And that's kind of
I like being authentic. Like I'm not going to lie about how a beer tastes. I don't, you know,
have you ever had like a really bad beer where you're like, I'm going to scrap this? And then you're like, well,
I think that was that like French Toast IPA. That was terrible.
That was the closest you ever got to being like, we're just deleting this video.
I dumped it. Yeah. And at that point you're like, man, I'm fully like invested in like, I've got all this footage and I've got the idea for the video, but the beer is crap. Like, what do I do, dude? Well, I'm just going to be honest about it and be like, all right, here's a video. Don't make this beer.
Yeah. No, I hear you. All right. Gilmore Girls is on, man. Much love to Hops and Gnarly. When he gets a little settled down, man, I'd love to have you on, Braj. It's been a minute, too. I haven't had Hops and Braji on for a little bit.
Before, though. Hops and an apartment brewer, too. I haven't seen him.
He's not allowed to come on anymore.
He's not?
He's not allowed to come on.
Yeah.
I think when he was coming on, I think that was right. I think he moved kind of fast. I don't really want to like talk about this, even though we're fucking talking about it on the internet. I think that they were.
You don't gotta.
No. Me and Steve are friends. No, he was in my last video.
Yeah.
No, Steve. I text with Steve. I think when he was first coming on, I think when Steve first started, he was like single to dating. That's why he could put a lot of emphasis on it, you know. So he kind of had that momentum, right? So when you meet someone, you have to have a super cool significant other to be like, what are you doing talking to yourself in the garage all day or brewing, you know? But like if you already have kind of some momentum going, you get a little bit more leverage, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he would come on and we, you know, and I always loved when Steve was on because Steve was kind of like Peter from Genius. He knew everything. You know, it didn't matter if you could talk about Simcoe or Mosaic, like he could break it down. That's something I can't do. When people want to talk about like if it's floral or if it's this or that, like I just solve for X. I don't do the subjective stuff. And I just think we got one too many loosey goosey Wednesdays in us. And I hit him up like a year ago. I was like, "You want to come on?" He's like, "I can't anymore." And I was like, "Thanks for being honest." Cause like,
that's cool, dude.
Yeah, it is cool.
It.
And I get it too, you know, like when we first, what up T-Man? What's up, Raj? When we first started doing this, I remember there was like a couple nights where, you know, Noam and, you know, the portly gentleman would come on. Like I'd have like 14 beers or something. Like it was,
that's crazy. Yeah.
Dude, like the first
I remember the first time I came on, I was like, dang, dude, we're going to have to chug this beer. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. And the whole reason I moved out here, and I talked with Kyle about this, is because that one dude, Gordon Hunt. Anyway, he donated like $700. And then from like people, dude, I came up on like $1,600 that night. And
that's right. I remember that.
That was a wild night. And Just Brewing was on. And I was like, okay, I'm going to Asheville in like a month. This is too weird. Like people just saw me almost get $2,000. I'm buying you a ticket to Asheville. And I can stay at the Clawhammer Airbnb, which is absolutely beautiful. And Brian, if you ever make it out there, I'll drive out there and I'll get another Airbnb, but I would love to, you know, shoot a video with you at Clawhammer.
That would be super cool. I have visions of like grand, you know, just like, oh my God, that would be so cool.
Could you make it out there?
Clawhammer. Eventually it could probably happen.
Over summer
that'd be really cool. Yeah. Summertime.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
And, and I was like, hey man, I've got the Clawhammer studio and it was awesome. And the couch pulled out. And then from there I was like, dude, I have to move out here, but like, I can't, it's going to be too weird if I just kind of cramp on Kyle Stees, you know? So I got to move to like Chattanooga or Johnson City or Knoxville. And I was dead set on Johnson City. I knew nothing about Knoxville. My dad's always like, well, you moved out to Knoxville because like you knew people out there. I'm like, what are you talking? Who? Like, no. I was going to move to Asheville. And any which way, I ended up in Knoxville after that. And I did get lucky. And Brian, if you do come out to Asheville, you know, and I'm talking to Nick Pitt, I want to get Chris out here. Noam's been out here. We could definitely do Asheville and Knoxville in the same weekend. And it's awesome. It's awesome.
That'd be cool.
Super cool.
My buddy at work, his daughter actually goes to
Tennessee?
Graduated from. Yeah, she graduated out there and she lives in Tennessee. So I'm not
she
exactly
like it?
sure. Oh yeah, loves it. She stayed out there. She graduated college, got a job, and she's like, nope, I'm here. And he's like, I might be going out there next. You know,
Brian, when you come out here, it's gonna toy with your head, man. I mean, granted,
am I gonna have to drink more than 2 beers, dude?
No, but you're gonna move your whole family out here. It's gonna be a Wagons East, man. Everybody was going to Wagons East back in the day. Now we're going back to the East.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, man. Definitely not going to Midland, Texas. Any which way, Brian?
Not Midland.
No, that was the worst place of all time. But we're coming down to the wire. It's been 2 hours. How we doing, Brian? Can we? You want to sum it up with a quick 5-minute speed run? Anybody got any questions?
Speed run. Yeah,
lightning hour.
Whatever,
what do you guys got?
Lightning round.
CH, are you going back to Midland, Texas? Definitely not.
No.
Hard no.
That we can't talk about that for 5 minutes because that's a hard no.
That's a hard no. That's a Hardin Valley no. What else we got?
I don't know, man. I don't know. We covered a lot, dude.
We did cover a lot.
It's been fun.
Noamski, one more. I would love to get Noam on here, and I would totally keep this going. But I've got to do the brew shows thing tomorrow. and I want to
Who would
be.
win in the bat? Who would win in the batting cages? CH or Brian? I don't know, man.
Oh, dude, if they're throwing faster than 75 miles per hour, I'm like
I'm done, man.
Dorn from Major League leaning into that batting lefty.
Are you a lefty? You bat lefty?
Yeah, I'm lefty at everything.
You
Pool,
throw left,
riding. Yeah.
throw left, everything. Yeah. So my
Yeah.
my youngest is a lefty righty, so he throws right, bats
That was
left.
so weird. Like back in the day, you were either
Weird.
left or right. Nowadays, everyone's like everything.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't like. He plays golf left-handed and he swings a bat left-handed. Everything else is right-handed.
And he writes right.
And he writes right-handed. Yeah.
Wild.
That's it.
Worst beer you ever did? Mine was a maple bacon vegan brown ale. Threw it out.
Mine first beer was probably back when I did the black IPA. It was like just bitter and gross.
Did you
Yeah.
nail it though, and you just got burnt out on it?
No, no, I didn't like that one at all. And the French Toast IPA was crap. I mean, I dumped that one.
Without even thinking about it?
No, I was like, no, this didn't work. Sorry.
Hardest beer to brew.
I'm gonna go and say for me, it's always been an IPA. I think they're really
Really?
hard to get right. Yeah, I think they're hard to get right. And my issue, I think I've learned over the time over the past brews that I've done, is not adding enough hops.
For boil or for dry hop?
All of it.
Both?
Yeah, I mean, like the when I did the cold IPA, I was like, good Lord, I'm gonna put that many hops in it. And it was like, wow, this is really good. Okay,
You
that's been my problem.
you
It's
have
probably been too like cloying and but I think IPAs are hard to get right.
you have much better luck with pilsners than IPAs,
Yeah,
yeah?
lagers I can nail. Yeah.
How long do you let them condition? What's your protocol? Are you
Yeah,
traditional? You sit them for, 1 to 2 months?
I've done it both. I've done it both ways where it's been traditional, I let them sit for a while or like do them under pressure, which is not traditional, do them under pressure warm. I think they do benefit from being conditioned longer. So a month to 2 months is probably the norm for me on that.
What about us seeing horizontal fermenters in the homebrew world? Because
I didn't even know that existed until I saw your video. I was like, what?
oh,
Dude,
dude,
horse.
we do that at Zool. Yeah, I mean, I think more often
Yeah.
than not, it's a surface area thing. That's definitely the best way to
Yeah,
kind of.
why horizontal for loggers?
Why horizontal? Because it's a lot easier for. It's a clarification thing. It's
Okay,
definitely a
so
clarification.
it helps with the beer. Okay, clarity.
It helps with the clarity. It's not where, and I've thought about this a bunch of different ways, and I've definitely read a lot of articles. I read a lot of articles today about it because I was editing the video, and I was thinking because when you have a big fermenter, I understand that everything sits at the bottom, but you still have, your hose that's above that. And I don't really know how much that's actually doing, but what I do know is that the best places in the world, the best loggers in the world, especially in Europe, they do have the horizontal tanks. And I don't know, it's like instead of having if it's vertical, you have all of your sand clumped at the bottom, which is, your yeast, falling out of flocculation. But if you have it horizontal, it's just kind of dispersed all along the way.
On the bot, yeah. Okay.
All I know, it's a clarification thing. I think it speeds up the loggering process.
Okay. Yeah, maybe someone's saying just lay a keg on its side. Maybe I'll try that next time. Just pop the keg on its side in the fridge.
Right? We're like, do you think it'll ever come out for homebrew? We're like, well, we can just grab it and just put it on its side. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll just turn my keg on its side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. Brian, I really want you, I really appreciate this. I know that.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you.
I love this shit, man. Nick Smith, he's the only guy, one of the few guys that went from commercial to homebrewer. Usually it's the other way around, man.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
But I know we still got some people in here, but I do want to get out of here because I never trust myself. I'll go all night. But but the brew show is coming on, or I'm coming on his thing tomorrow. And
yeah, you'll be on his thing tomorrow. That's cool.
Looking forward to that.
We gotta save some of ourselves for that tomorrow too.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So we're doing that, I think, around probably the same time, 6 o'clock West Coast, 9 o'clock East Coast. And I want to give a big shout out again to Brian. If you guys don't subscribe to his YouTube channel, it's the link that I'm looking at right now. You can visually see it. It's blue. I'm going to find out about it. I'm going to show up to your house like Freddy Krueger, and we'll go from there. Blackwood, much love. I want to give a big shout out to everyone who's here tonight. This is fun. This is the 4th in a row. Zach Gateman, 3 in a row.
You're on a good one with the lives, dude, for sure.
I'm on a good one with the lives, and I'm going to
act like the old times.
Brian, this is the best week ever. When I can, I do like 4, I did 3 8-hour shifts, got a video out, did a live stream. This is it for me. Like this is my life. This is what I do, man.
I'm glad I could be a part of it, dude.
No, and I appreciate that. Let's get out of here. I'm going to shut it down. Right. We can keep this up, right? Did we talk any shit about Brew Cabin? Is it too late for that? I'm good. Brian, thanks for so much. Ron Barnes, Warren Cox. Let's get out of here. Brian, have a good night, and I'll shoot you a text in the morning.
You too. Got it, dude.
Later, brother.
Thanks,